Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, Dustin Fox, Jason Lloyd, Tyvis Powell, plus, ba-da-da-da-da, you're loving him, Mikey McNuggets. And so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show starts now. Booyah!
Hey everybody, welcome to the latest edition of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show along with Dustin Fox and Tyvis Powell. I'm Adam the Bull. We've got Mike, Anthony, and Steve on the other side of the glass. Earl up at the perch. G. Bush is sick.
Ill.
And so,
Ill?
He's ill?
He's ill.
Why not sick?
I don't know. I just like the term.
You like ill?
Yeah.
He's ill.
He's ill today. He's under the weather.
He's ill in. See, if you add the IN, it's a totally different thing. Do people say ill in anymore? The kids don't say that.
No.
Did they ever say that?
No.
I don't know.
That's
maybe.
a good question, too.
I don't know. I think they did.
Was that a real thing, or was that just like the Beastie Boys?
Might have just been the Beastie who went to the same middle school that I did. A couple of years older than me, if I remember correctly. But anyway, another story for another day. A lot to get to today. Obviously, the Cavs are starting their season. The NBA starts tonight. Cavs play their first game tomorrow in New York against the Knicks, so we'll do some Cavs preview stuff. We'll have a game involving the Cavs. We'll have a game involving quarterbacks, all coming up today. I wanted to hit on a couple of quickies, but Mike,
before we do a read, I know you had to mention something before we talk about Tyler Lockett, so the floor is yours before we get to a little Tyler Lockett stuff.
I mentioned this morning on my podcast, and just wanted to say that, yesterday I brought up, is it a big deal that Shedeur Sanders, because somebody had pointed out to me, somebody that has been at the last two Browns games, pointed out to me that Shedeur Sanders does not sit next to Dillon Gabriel after Dillon comes off the field and, he's talking to the coaches, looking at whatever, pictures or video, that Shedeur doesn't sit with him. So I said on the show, I was asking if that mattered, if it was a big deal. Of course, me asking the question, I'm sure I've pretty much been avoiding social media, but I'm sure that created I'm a hater and others because I asked the question.
Yeah, we got a lot of tweets and comments about that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You basically blew up my phone yesterday.
Yeah, I bet. So I just wanted to say that today, yesterday I got a text from our guy Darren Smith, who said that Gardner Minshew doesn't always sit with Patrick Mahomes, and he said he's going to purposely watch for it this week. And the only reason I had noticed it is because I had noticed that Jake Browning was sitting next to Joe Flacco all the time. They kept showing it on TV. I don't know if he did it every time, but they showed it a bunch of times. And so it got me thinking. And then when somebody texted me and said he's not sitting next to him, I said, okay. I actually got a text in the last hour from someone I know that covers the Giants who said that Jackson, or I can't remember if it was before Jackson Dart or it's now, I don't remember, but that the backup quarterback doesn't sit next to the starting quarterback after every play either. So apparently it's not like a thing you have to do all the time.
The interesting question would be, so, Kevin's the play caller, right?
Right.
So when the offense comes off the field, does Kevin go and sit with Dillon to discuss things, or does it come from Tommy Reese on the headset?
I would think it comes from Tommy Reese.
Okay,
right?
so
it's more Tommy Reese time.
So if that's the case, then Shedeur is hearing everything. So that's why because I watched the show and I heard that part and I thought about it like, that is odd. Yeah. But then I thought, the play caller is Kevin, and Kevin doesn't go address it because he has to watch the game. So I'm sure if it's Tommy Reese is in his ear and he just listening to what Tommy is saying. Now, I agree that he should be there on the surface and look at things on the surface, but for the communication part, he's hearing it. So. Right.
And I know you didn't think it was.
No, I didn't think it was a big deal. I think it depends on maybe the relationship the player has with the starter.
Yeah.
And every team's different,
Right.
And
Jake Browning, he's got a chance now to sit, and obviously he has a relationship with Joe Burrow, but Joe Burrow's a young veteran, whereas now he's sitting next to Joe Flacco, and in terms of like learning from the next guy, I mean, Shedeur Sanders is not learning anything from Dillon Gabriel. I wouldn't think.
No, just looking.
No, but he's learning from the mistakes he makes.
Yeah,
or,
that's
or,
why I say
or
looking at the surface is the most important part. And I'm sure they probably get with Dillon. He probably hear the communication, and I'm sure at some point he's going and looking at the surface and flicking through the pictures and stuff like that, or the iPad or whatever the heck they use.
Obviously, I created a stir because you just unfortunately I can't ask a question. It feels like you're purposely being negative. So that's unfortunate, but I just wanted to share the information I've gotten since then. And so anyway, so there you go. Now, you want to hit on the Tyler Lockett thing, or you want to do a read first?
Yeah, let me do a read, and we'll get into the first segment of the day, which involves Tyler Lockett, one of Tyvis' former teammates. This topic is brought to us by FanDuel. Guys, the NFL season is here. The NBA season is tipping off in a second. And FanDuel is an offer you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if that first $5 bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. That's right, pick a bet, put down $5, and if it hits, you unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com/UCSS to download the FanDuel app today and get things started. In case anyone missed the news, Tyler Lockett has asked to be released by the Seattle Seahawks.
Right.
He's not being used in the capacity he wants.
He
wants to go.
Titans.
Titans. Not with the Titans. They're obviously a disaster situation. And with two rookie quarterbacks and a receiver room that needs a lot of help, a lot of people started to ask the question, should the Browns have interest in Tyler Lockett? Well, I know you did a podcast this morning that came up.
Right.
You want to fill us in on that part of it?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are asking, should the Browns sign Tyler Lockett? Well, the Browns should sign Tyler Lockett. But if you're Tyler Lockett, you just asked to be released by a bad team. Why would you go to the Browns? Tyler Lockett, even though he's done very little this year and is obviously in decline at 33 years old, would still be the second best wide receiver on this team. However, obviously it would make sense for the Browns to try.
Why would he want to go from a rookie quarterback who was drafted number one to a third-round quarterback who's not playing?
He wants to go play for a contender, right?
I would imagine that's what this is all about. Would we love to have him? Absolutely. Sure. Does he still got some stuff left in him? Yeah, he's always been a deep threat guy. Probably not as shifty as he was back when I had to check the dude. He was them small dudes, and he was.
Didn't you say he was the hardest guy you ever had to try and guard, Ty?
Who?
Did you say Tyler Lockett?
No, I didn't say that. The hardest person I had to check was Doug Baldwin, and that's
who it was. Sorry, that's who it was.
Doug Baldwin was a shining star for like a minute. And then he got hurt, right?
Doug made me question if I was good enough to be in the NFL.
Wow.
Did
he talk trash to you, or just?
He was. I mean, he was a very competitive guy, but he would never like trash talk or anything like that. It just they'd be like, Tyvis, I want you to guard Doug on this route.
And what was that injury he had?
Doug would just leave me on the release, and I'd be sitting there like, I can't get a hand on this dude.
What was the injury he had? I don't even remember. But it just it ruined his career. Was over.
I don't remember.
He was really young when
I think he might have been like 30, 31.
Oh, he was that old?
Yeah.
I feel like he was younger.
When I got there, he had to be like 27, 28.
Okay. But anyway, so, if you're Tyler Lockett, you want to go to Buffalo or Kansas City.
Yeah, you're going somewhere. Because this is essentially he's at the end of his career. So it's like you want to go somewhere to try to get that ring. Because I'm pretty sure he wasn't there when they won it in 13. No, he wasn't there in 13 because he only got there like a couple years before I got there. So he probably wants to get that experience and, be that third option or maybe on the team where he can contribute and try to get a ring.
Obviously, this is not about money at this point. He's not making much money.
No.
Does he care? Like, part of the reason he didn't like Tennessee is he also wasn't getting a lot of playing time. He wasn't out there.
He probably get a lot here.
Does he care more about playing time or winning a ring, you think?
When you get to that stage of your career, I mean, you get out there and you say to yourself, like, I still got it. It was funny because I was just talking to Sherman about this. We was talking about another corner that I'm not going to disclose. But we were talking about how, like, you get out there and you think, all right, I'm still good. And you'll know when you play the game, like either the game has passed me by and I need to stop, or it's like, no, I still got something left in the tank. I would imagine that Tyler is probably at the point where he's like, I still got something left in the tank.
Let's try to win something.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple of spots that would make sense. Buffalo and Kansas City are always – although Kansas City's wide receiving room, now that everybody's healthy, is pretty low.
Rasheed Rice came back with vengeance, didn't
he? Yeah. I mean, they've got Rice, they've got Worthy, they've got Marquise Brown. So
the Tyquan Thornton dude or whatever.
So I don't think Kansas City's a good fit, actually, right now.
No.
But Buffalo could be. I don't know what he thinks of Pittsburgh. Certainly Pittsburgh could be. They have no receivers outside of Metcalf.
He can go to Pittsburgh.
He'd be their number 2 guy right now. I mean, I know they have Calvin Austin, but he's been hurt, and he's not like much of a proven track.
I mean, if he got vengeance in his heart, he could go to San Fran.
They could. That's true. Although their receivers are coming. Well, Pearsall, I think, might be back next week. But
the Ayuk thing is sour. I don't know if he ever play for them again.
I don't know what's happening there. Yeah. By the way, were you and Sherm talking about how what's his name? Jalen Ramsey should retire after what Jamar Chase did to him last week? Was that what you were discussing?
No, we also was discussing like how they figure something out and how Jalen got something on tape that he need to get off the tape because this is not the first time this has happened to him this year. Yeah.
That was embarrassing. But anyway, so the bottom line is I think we all agree. We'd love to have Tyler Lockett. He'd clearly be their second best receiver. But it doesn't make sense that he's going to want to come here.
Yeah, for him. I don't think he would want to do that.
No. I'm trying to think of other spots, and maybe the Rams would be a good spot for him. Their depth chart's not very good.
Puka is down for.
Right, Puka's hurt. And who else they got?
Devontae Adams, Tutu.
Oh, Devontae, jeez.
Tutu Atwell.
He hit or miss.
The rest, I don't even think he had a catch this week. Tutu Atwell.
He had like 4 last week and nothing this week.
The rest of their guys
Jordan Whittington is hit or
guys
miss.
besides Adam and Puka.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Buffalo. I know you mentioned them.
Yeah, Buffalo makes a lot of sense, and Pittsburgh makes sense. I don't know how big a contender does he need. Would he rather play? Play a little less with an A contender or play more with a B contender?
Also, he's on the Titans. The Browns are dysfunctional.
Yeah.
But right now, currently, the Titans are like
Miami and the Jets.
They're in the same ballpark. I don't know. Amongst the most dysfunctional.
The Miami and the Jets is one of those situations where you're like, we got it bad, but we don't have it the worst.
Yeah. So there's a few teams that would make some sense for him. I think those are the ones that come to mind. Who's the Detroit? Nah, they got good depth at wide receiver.
Because he plays.
Green Bay's got depth.
You'd imagine he playing slot. So
you're not bumping him on Rod in the slot.
Speaking of which, you want to do a read, and we got to get to the Browns. I know. I want to talk about Baker for a minute last night.
We'll get to Baker. Yeah, let's save Baker before we get on the tangent with other stuff to get to, guys. We'll dive into our next topic. It's brought to us by Mazda. For those of you who believe it's not just about playing the game, it's about redefining it, because these moments do more than win. They push what's possible, reminding us to go that extra yard, shift into that extra gear, and keep the game moving forward. When you follow what moves you, the unexpected is only the beginning, and just like there's more to every highlight, there's more to every Mazda. Mazda, move and be moved.
Before we move forward to what the Browns might do this week, and can they get on the roll after this win, you guys were both not here yesterday, so Dustin, let's start with you.
Okay.
What's your biggest takeaway from the Browns win? Because obviously it was an unusual game. To have basically 200 yards and win by blowout is not common, but that's what happened. What's your takeaway from that game?
I mean, I expected them to win the game. They were favored going into it.
Yeah.
The Browns' defense is so good, and they're so anemic on offense, especially now without Tyreek Hill, that I just figured that they would have an opportunity to just kind of take advantage of a team that's down and out.
Right.
And they kicked them while they were down, and they got it done. It wasn't the sexiest performance. It was a terrible weather game. It wasn't that cold, but it was just really windy and rainy, and it was hard to grip the ball and catch the ball and all those things that go into it. But my number one takeaway was the fact that we all were saying they need to run Quinshon Judkins a zillion times.
Right.
And they ran Quinshon Judkins a zillion times, and he was great in this game. And that's what they got to continue to do if they want to try to win some games this year. We know our defense is really good. We know Myles Garrett's really good. We know that Judkins is real. I mean, the pieces of the Browns that we expected to play well did. And they beat a bad team. So that's going to happen. You're at home. You're playing a bad team that's in serious disarray. You've got a great defense. There's nothing great about the Dolphins. Nothing. No. There's not one thing on their team that's great. The Browns have a great defense, and they probably have a top 5 back in the league. So they got it done.
Have a top 5. They have a really good back too.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
But they don't have a great defense or a great offense.
Yeah. A-Chain's good. A-Chain's good.
Go ahead, Tyvis. What's your takeaway from the game?
like Dustin said, I thought that they did a really good job of playing and doing exactly the things that they needed to do. After everybody cussed them out for a whole week about not running the ball, it was smart to get out there, and especially in the conditions to run the ball. I thought that Quinshon played a heck of a game. I don't even think he got 100 yards, but
it was like 92.
It was nice to see him rip off a long run and it not be a penalty because I feel like that's happened like 2 times to him this season. So it was nice to see him get going. And I just was watching just the way that the passion that he plays with, like Quinshon, like it's so funny to me because you can tell, and I don't want to sound like disrespectful when I say this. It's going to come off as very disrespectful, but I don't mean any disrespect. I just need to prove the point. It's a difference how you could tell that somebody that's used to winning amongst people that's used to losing. Because when he plays and he makes a play, like the passion that he exhorts, and he's like, I'm used to doing this. Like I enjoy doing this. To where other guys, it's like, yeah, if we win, we win. If we lose, we lose. So it's nice to have a guy who is not even afraid to say, like, I'm here to win. Like I'm not with that losing thing. I think he said that like after one of his starts, it's like I don't care. I'm used to winning coming from Ohio State. The defensive side of the ball, I thought that they played really well. It was a couple of times that A-Chain broke a couple of runs, but you know that's going to happen in some games, especially when you're going up against a back like A-Chain. But that to get them takeaways, to get 4 takeaways, 3 picks, 1 pick six, another one should have been a pick six. Rayshawn Jenkins, I ain't forgot about you. No way you get a pick inside the 10-yard line and don't score. I just never heard of it. Like,
well, I needed that Jenkins touchdown for fantasy, so I'm happy he didn't get in.
That's sad. That's sad. But it was nice to see those guys make those plays. Miles got back on the sack numbers. It's been like 2 or 3 games that he didn't get a sack. And you could tell like that defense was motivated seeing that offense score.
Right.
Like you could tell that those guys was like, they went down, they scored. So the defense is like, okay. So let's go get a stop. So they go get a stop. Boom, they get the ball back, and then they put some points up on the board. And it's just like, oh, if this what we doing today, those guys just played with an extra pep in their step. And it was good because before the game, Grant Delpit was talking about how he don't even know what winning feels like anymore because it's been so long. And that was so scary to hear. When I was doing the pregame and I heard him say that, like that's a scary feeling. To me, that put this game at a crossroad because if they lost this game to Miami, it's over. It ain't no coming back from that. The entire locker room is probably checked out. They booking flights to Cancun or wherever the heck they go. But to see them win and to hear them talk after the game about how important that win was for their season and to hear them happy again, like it's like, all right, we're glad to be back in the building. We see what winning feels like. Let's continue to get this feeling going. So it was an inspired win. I know it was ugly on offense and people got their things about the offense, but that defense, we always said that defense was good enough to keep them in a game or win a game, and that's kind of what happened.
I want to talk about one guy specifically on defense before we move this forward, as you guys both being corners, DBs. Tyson Campbell, in his second game as a Browns player, he had the pick six, and I thought he played a tremendous game.
Can I give you his stats real quick, Bull?
What's that?
Can I give you Campbell's stats?
Yeah, go ahead.
30 coverage snaps. 0 receptions allowed, 1 pass breakup, 1 pick six. A perfect game from a cornerback.
Anomaly against a bad team, or do you think we have something here with Tyson Campbell?
No, I said from the first game. I know everybody was down on him after the first game that he played. But I told you, when I watched him, because I specifically watched him, because I'm like, oh, they're going to go at him, so I need to see what he's doing. I like his press technique. I like the fact that he's on top of the route a lot of the times. DK is just a physical specimen. Like, I don't know why people forget the fact that DK is like 6'4", 230 and stuff like that and very strong. Yeah, and he's like runs like a 4.3. So, like, he's a physical specimen. And then Tyson, for half that game, he held his own. He did really well. But then the other half, obviously, he got beat for the touchdown. And that's what's stuck in our minds as fans. We see like, oh, this dude got beat for a touchdown. He's terrible. He's trash. But if you go back and watch, he actually played him really well. So I was happy with his technique, and I thought that he did a really good job of showing that again this past weekend. Now, obviously, weather does play a part of that as well because it was raining, it was windy, so it wasn't a lot you could do. But he had some very good tight coverage, and he was there for the tips and the overthrows. Got to get those, and he made them pay.
No, he's a nice player. I mean, I thought he did a nice job in this game. Obviously, the Pittsburgh game you get beat for a touchdown, people remember
That's
those
it.
moments. They don't remember the 90 snaps you played where you didn't do anything wrong. No, it's to me, it's a nice addition to the team. And the secondary, I thought the secondary played really well in this game. Now, it helped that our pass rush was killing them, and Tua couldn't have any time to throw, and the weather was bad and all that stuff. But, I mean, overall, that's a nice addition. I'm happy to have him.
Listen, I don't think any of us think you still think the Browns are going 8-9?
Yes.
You do.
I'm not getting off that train until they lose 10 games. They going 8-9 in my book.
So if the Browns are going to have even a decent season, certainly 8-9 would be pretty good.
It'll be a great story.
The expectations. They have a chance to get on a roll here. Obviously, this weekend's tough.
You don't believe they're going to win 8 games?
Really? In my whole heart, I believe they're going to win 8 games.
You wouldn't bet on it?
No.
5. I can't. I'm an NFL employee.
Well, that's a great out for you.
Yeah. But, guys, as unlikely as it is, it's possible to get on a roll here. If they can somehow upset New England, you got a bye, and then you got the Jets. If they win this Patriots game,
they're not beating the Patriots.
Okay, but
go with me here. I'll go with you.
If they beat the Patriots, I know it's a big if.
Talk about it, Bull.
They would play the Jets after that with a bye in between. You'd be a 500 team in theory because the Jets. Not that you couldn't lose to the Jets, but the Browns are going to be favored in that Jet game. Maybe not. The game's at the Jets, but they'll still be. I would get. If they beat the Patriots, they would be. They would be favored.
Yes, coming off of a bye, they should be favored.
Now, I don't think they're going to beat the Patriots either. Obviously, the Patriots are a touchdown favorite at home. They're playing well. Drake May's playing really well.
MVP,
in fact, he's fourth for whatever that's worth.
Yeah, I think it's Patrick.
Especially Baker. No, Baker dropped after. He's third. I don't know what he was going into yesterday.
Who's second? Dak?
Josh Allen.
Cowboys' offense is explosive.
Yeah.
It's like he's having the season.
He's having a really good year.
That Joe Burrow just had.
Yeah. Stafford's having a good season.
No, I'm talking about Dak.
Yeah.
But Stafford's having a good
season.
Yeah.
Anyway, but Drake May is fourth the odds at MVP, which is pretty impressive for a guy who was okay as a rookie, but he wasn't outstanding. He's really taken his game up a notch here in year 2. And so, do you have any hope of them getting on a roll here by beating New England?
Yeah. I think it's optimistic. Well, I'm an optimistic person.
Yeah.
I think that winning that game
kept the season alive.
Right.
Yeah.
I think guys are still motivated because you still look around the conference. You're 1 game behind Cincy, 2 games behind Pittsburgh. The division is still there. I think that you still got 3 games, so you're going to play each opponent.
Listen,
I know it sounds crazy.
It's crazy, but
it sounds crazy. The Browns offense has not given you any reason to believe that they could do it. I'm just telling you, it's still there. If I'm on the Cleveland Browns, that's what I'm telling myself. It's like they 2 wins above us right now. The division can be had.
What's more likely?
Well, I appreciate the optimism from Tyvis, but I don't live in La La Land. I live in reality where this team they're going to push that 4.5 win total. That's going to be close. They may win 5 games, which that to me would be exceeding my expectations going into the year. So they're at that point. They have no chance to win this division.
I wouldn't think so.
I mean, just because they had this game on Sunday,
Yeah.
do you forget all the things that have happened?
No, and Miami's another terrible team, and you took care of business against a terrible team, and maybe the Browns are the kings of the terrible team. Maybe they.
I mean, you said it, Adam.
Yeah.
They scored 31 points. They blew out the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Yet they still didn't do anything on offense.
No, certainly nothing in the passing game. Now, they didn't throw the ball that much, but they did the week before, and they didn't do anything in the passing game either.
So my point is, okay, Drake May this weekend is playing, like you guys said, an MVP.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how are we going to score more than 17 points this week?
I think it's going to be very hard.
Very challenging.
Where are the Patriots defensively, by the way? I don't have a good feel for that.
We can pull it up. Steve, give me 16.
I want to say they're a
defensive
mid-tier
ranks.
defense, but I think
they're very good against the run.
Guessing.
Very, very good against the run.
Uh-huh.
Very average against the pass. and overall they've been pretty good. Now they've played a lighter schedule, so you got to take that into consideration. But second in the league against the run,
throw the ball to win.
Fifth in terms of opponent points per game against. They have forced 9 takeaways. It's tied for 6th in football. So
and it's
better than you think, but they played
7.5
easy schedule.
We 7.5 dogs right now.
I thought it was 7.
I see 7. I saw 6.5 yesterday. So it's changing.
So that must be a lot of money going on the Patriots, because for it to go to 6.5 from 6.5 to 7, that's not it doesn't move.
It's
like
at
that.
7.5 now on FanDuel.
It's probably the right number. I mean, I don't see the Browns getting blown out in the game because our defense plays really well, and that should keep them in most games.
Yeah.
But it's hard to win the NFL, and especially it's hard to win on the road. We know that. It's going to be a really challenging game. The Browns would have to come up with a miraculous game plan, and they would literally have to execute everything. All those little things where some teams like the Chiefs can get away with these little errors, like the Browns have no room for error. They have to play a perfect game to beat good teams. They would have to the tight end room would have to have a big game. Because Judy is not going to have a big game. I'm going to tell you that. Whoever our number one receiver is not going to have a big game.
And that's because?
Christian Gonzalez is a dog. If he's playing, he's locking up whoever he's playing. I'm going to tell you that now. So it's going to have to happen from the tight end room and the opposite side of Christian Gonzalez.
Will you say his name again, Ty?
Christian Gonzalez?
It sounded very weird the first. Gonzalez.
No. Yeah, I mean, the Browns are not going to, I do love your optimism as well, and I hope that you're right, because it'd be, the Browns being
I'm just painting a picture.
Terrible is boring and not good for business, but I just can't see them being consistently competitive with the good teams on their schedule. And the idea of them being in a playoff hunt is not realistic. They're 2.5 games behind Pittsburgh at the moment, which is not a crazy gap, but really it's more than that because they lost to them, so they wouldn't have the tiebreaker right now. And, Pittsburgh's not that good, and the division is kind of weak. Not kind of weak. Division's weak. This is the worst AFC North in forever. That being said, the Browns are still, in my opinion, the worst team, even though Baltimore's got
Lamar's going to come back at some point.
I think he's coming back this week.
Yeah.
And no, he didn't practice yesterday.
Well, whenever he does
He'll
come
be back soon.
They'll go on a run. They'll go on a run.
Not, they got issues. They're not perfect. They got a lot of issues. I don't know that they're making the playoffs this year at 1-5.
I don't think they're making the playoffs. I think they're going to probably end up with, they're 1-5 now.
Yeah.
I think they're going to get 8 or 9 wins.
If I had to bet right now, I'd still bet the Browns finish in last place. Would you?
Yes, of course.
Tyvis, what are you betting right now?
Browns go 8-9.
8-9.
And the Bengals are, if they can do what they can do
I'm
that.
not convinced the Bengals can play that well.
But if they can just sort of hold their own until Burrow comes back.
Which is mid-December?
Mid-December?
Yeah.
So it'd be like 3
They're only going to bring it back if they have a chance.
If they can somehow be around 500.
Yeah. Well, they're playing the Jets this week, so they have a good chance to win this week.
What's their record now?
Are they 3-4?
3-4. Yeah, dude, they're right.
I think the Bengals have a better chance to win the division and get a wild card because
all Flacco needs to do is have a good month.
Right.
That's it. Yeah.
Have a good month. Now
which he did in Cleveland.
2 years ago. Yeah, not this year, but
that's what I'm talking about. When they made the playoffs, he had an excellent month.
They're playing. They got 3 home games in a row, starting with the Pittsburgh game, which they won.
It is so silly that he was traded to the Bengals.
So you've got a beef with it.
I don't have a beef with it. It's just dumb.
You know what? I thought? I said I was talking to somebody down in Columbus yesterday, and I was saying the Browns' problem. The reason why the Browns are in the situation that they're in is because they try to do right by people too much. In a cutthroat league, they try to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Like the Deshaun Watson guarantee thing, that's like them just trying to do the right thing. Like them guaranteeing Amari Cooper's contract knowing that he wasn't good anymore, that's like the right thing. And then them trading Joe Flacco, that's like them, they came to Joe and asked him, do you want this trade? And he said, yeah. Even though it's to their division opponent, they just wanted to do right by Joe.
Right.
Even though it's going to cost them. So it's like
potentially, yeah.
It's sad because they seem like genuinely good people. But, in this league, you got to be cutthroat. So
that's true.
I think it's like their own fault.
Yeah.
Bull, so before we move on, Tyvis said he could talk himself into the Browns going on a bit of a run here. Dustin
8-9.
No shot in hell.
No.
What do you
Print
say?
the shirt.
They might get 5 wins.
Now, listen, you go shock us and beat New England. Maybe we're singing a different tune Monday.
If they can score more than 20 points, and they beat the Patriots, then I'll have a conversation at least.
Because then they're playing the Jets.
But guys, I can't just look at a team that's what are the Browns now? 2-5. I can't look at a 2-5 football team that has barely scored over 17 points on offense this year in most games, and think that they have a chance to do anything.
Right. It's when your offense is
we said the same. You know what? We said the same thing about your Cleveland Guardians, and they made the postseason. There you go. There's the motivation you need right there.
You can't even compare the two sports.
What was they run differential, Mike? Minus 45 or something like that?
Better than the Browns.
Fortunately for the Cleveland Guardians in Major League Baseball, you don't have to have a quarterback to win games.
There's no one most important position.
Damn, y'all just negative Nancy's.
It's not negative, dude. And you're making it sound like we're negative because you're sitting over here drinking some Kool-Aid on the Browns making the playoffs.
At least he's not going that far. They're not making the playoffs.
Oh, I didn't say
Dustin,
that.
He just said they could win the division. What are you talking about?
Dustin, this is the same guy that with a straight face told 2 Indiana basketball players this weekend that Giannis is the greatest player to ever live.
That's a fact.
Well, first off, at least I can understand where he's coming from in that situation because he's probably talking about he's the freakiest, most unbelievable basketball player we've ever seen.
He dominated any era of basketball.
I don't disagree with you. I think that it's hyperbole, but
you're out of your mind if you think Giannis is the best basketball player.
He's not the best basketball player of all time. He may be.
He dominated any era.
Whatever. I don't want to get into this.
All right, we'll get to our next.
The Browns are not the Browns are not a legitimate playoff contender. We all understand that. Tyvis understands that.
He said they could win the division.
He doesn't really believe
You make the playoffs if you win the division.
I mean, anybody can win the division, yes, in theory.
2 losses back.
Will the Browns win their division?
No.
Will they win another division game?
No, they're not winning the division, but they are 2 games back.
You really think they're going to win 8? Come on, seriously.
8-9 until now.
We're gonna save Tyvis from himself here. We're gonna take a break. When we come back, we're gonna talk about an offensive line solution. Before we do that, a quick word from Peloton from our friend Cody Rourke.
I'm Cody Rourke from Locked On Broncos, and this episode is brought to you by Peloton. Peloton is shaping the future of fitness with the brand new Peloton Cross-Training Tread Plus powered by Peloton IQ. This is Peloton's most advanced equipment yet, giving you real-time guidance and endless ways to move, whether you're running, lifting, or you're cross-training with your favorite instructors like Alex Toussaint. It's training reimagined to make your workout more personal. Peloton is built for breakthroughs with features that help you plan, stay motivated, and hit peak performance. You can let yourself run, lift, flex, and go while Peloton handles all the rest. Plus, Peloton IQ provides real-time strength coaching, tracking your progress and suggesting weights that challenge you so you can get stronger. Plus, the new movement tracking camera, it counts your reps and corrects your form in real time, making sure every rep is safer and smarter. So, let yourself run, lift, flex, push, and go. Explore the new Peloton Cross-Training Tread Plus at onepeloton.com.
Thanks, Cody. All right, guys. Listen, we have to play it. We get paid to play it. It's stupid. I'm sorry. I wish I had a better answer.
No, I just made the thanks, Cody.
I don't know. I don't know how to do it. There's no easy transition in or out. It's awkward. They tell us we have to do it. Go ahead. Sorry about that, guys. All right. Kevin Stefanski did something against the Dolphins that I'm not sure we've ever actually seen implemented as frequently as he did against Miami. Do you guys even know the splits of the offensive line in terms of their snap counts? At right tackle, at left tackle in particular.
What, do you rotate?
Yes. Leviston and Cornelius Lucas split almost 50-50 snaps at right tackle. Cornelius Lucas played 27 snaps. That was 47%. KT Leviston played 30 snaps. That was 53%.
Who played left tackle? I don't even remember.
Cam Robinson played 100 snaps.
I don't even pay attention to it.
So Cam Robinson.
For what?
100% left tackle, right tackle, Leviston, and Lucas split nearly 50-50. 53 for Leviston, 47 for Lucas. In their pass rush productivity, in terms of stopping Miami, Leviston, 14 pass block snaps, allowed 1 pressure and no sacks. Cornelius Lucas, not as good, but arguably his best game of the season still. 9 pass block snaps, 2 pressures, 1 sack. In totality, between the two, in 23 pass rush snaps, they allowed 3 pressures. at the end of the day, I don't think either of these two are particularly good. But Dustin and Tyvis, I want to start with you guys on this one.
That's being complimentary. Both of them stink.
But they were serviceable at a minimum against Miami.
Is 2 pressures and a sack on 9 plays serviceable? I mean, I guess.
Comparatively to what he had been in the previous games, it is. So, Ty, I'll start with you, and we go around the horn. Dustin, you chime in next. Is rotating tackles like that sustainable at all? And could it bring out the best in a guy like Leviston and Lucas when they're only out there for 50% of the snaps? Or is that a one-game blip that happened to work against Miami but could be a terrible decision against the team with a better pass rush?
They better never do that again. The weather conditions was the only reason they was able to do that. If they do this against another team, it's not going to work. It's just not, because it messes up the chemistry of the rest of the offensive
chemistry, rhythm,
line.
all the above. You can't do that.
That's not going to work. The only reason they was able to do this because they knew they was going to run the ball 100 times in this game and not pass it that much. They do this, and it's just not. And then on top of that, you kind of you showing your hand, because if you putting Levingston in, that means he's better at a pass blocker. So if I'm a DN and I see Levingston, I'm thinking it's going to be a pass. If I see Cornelius Lucas and I know he's better at the run, then I know it's going to be a run. So you kind of tipping your hand on that, and you can't give these defenses any keys and things like that. So that's not something that I would do moving forward. I think that was a one-off.
Totally agree. It's not sustainable. It's something you can probably get away with in a game like that because of the one-dimensional offense. But overall, no. Those guys they'll never have a graphic on this show again.
Well, if they are, it would be much worse.
I had to find, it took me a lot of time to find a picture of them.
What I don't understand, were they rotating them within a series, or was it like
was it every series?
One series and then Cornelius the other? Do we know? Because that would take away at least what you said, Tyvis, about, well, you're bringing in one guy for the run and the other guy for the pass. I think it was more series by series
than play-by-play. Because if it was just passing, I mean, they got 14-9 in terms of the
I didn't notice it during the game. Did any of you guys notice it during the game?
I knew that they was, because I think Nathan said it when we did injury reports, but it wasn't something that I paid attention to, because I knew, it's irrelevant. They was running the ball.
Yeah. I mean, if you're doing it by series, why couldn't you keep doing it? I mean, does it make it harder on Wyatt Teller playing right guard?
100%.
Yes.
So then why did they do it?
Because they was running the ball.
I know, but they still threw it sometimes. Why would you want to make it harder on your offensive line?
How is Miami's pass rush?
Not good.
Not good.
That's your answer.
Where's New England in terms of pass rush?
What metric do you want? Just overall sacks? You want pressure rate?
I don't know, pressure rate.
Give me 1 sec.
Whatever. There's so many nerd stats now. I don't know what's the best one, but I appreciate a good nerd stat.
Was Bradley Chubb out there?
He was. He didn't do much.
In terms of pressure rate, Bull, Patriots are slightly above middle of the pack. They're 14th, 19.5% pressure rate.
Where is Miami?
Miami, in terms of pressure rate, is – I can't count in my head.
Boom, 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 boom. Just count up from the bottom.
Yeah, they're 23rd.
Huh? Not the worst, but I mean, listen, it's kind of depressing that this is part of the conversation that we're discussing rotating right tackles.
But it worked. To their credit, I know it's crazy.
Yeah.
It was arguably the best offensive line, and I understand the conditions play a big role in that.
Yeah.
They gave up 16 quarterback hits against
Pittsburgh,
and they gave up 3 against Miami. And granted, they threw the ball way less, so I know
there's so many qualifiers here.
I'm just saying
it
wasn't
terrible
like a
weather,
disaster.
Which benefits the offense, correct?
Yes.
It's a terrible team. It's at home. It's not throwing the ball. Like all these things. You can't just say, well, it worked. But even though there's like 5 different things we can point to as the part of the
I'm not
process.
saying this is the long-term solution. And I agree with Tyvis and Dustin in saying it worked against Miami. It's not going to work. But I do think it's worth at least mentioning that Kevin Stefanski did something completely unconventional. And for that one game, it worked. Now, we may come back next Tuesday and say they rotated right tackles against New England and got obliterated. We never want to see that again, like Tyvis alluded to, and we'll have that same exact discussion. But we can only go off the one game we saw. And in the one game we saw, it was the best version of Leviston we've seen, unquestioned. And probably the best version of Cornelius Lucas.
It's still a clown show that you have in
Was he at?
Right
was
tackles.
Levingston at right tackle? He didn't start against Pittsburgh, did he? Because
I don't even remember now.
No. Pittsburgh, Conklin played, and Leviston was at left tackle because Cam Robinson they had traded for midweek.
No, that was
Miami.
That was
Minnesota.
Minnesota?
No, Cam Robinson started at left tackle, and
Jack
Conklin started at
and
right.
then he got hurt.
Levinson, I assume, or Griff or Lucas came in for Conklin when he got hurt for the 80s.
So Levingston didn't play like that against Pittsburgh?
I can look at the snap
He
count.
probably came in at some point because Conklin got hurt. I mean, maybe the Browns should give Conklin another big contract extension to be hurt again.
Maybe he's a better right tackle because the left tackle thing.
I mean, he sucks. They all suck. They don't have. There's no
against,
better. Every tackle on this roster stinks except for Conklin, who can't stay healthy.
Do other teams have the same problem finding guys in their line? Because
I mean, the Bengals have had a bad offensive.
There was a time where the Browns had a really good offensive line.
A lot of years.
But it's been, and really since Joe was retired.
It's because they keep missing.
Lucas was a healthy scratch
since
pitcher,
Joe retired.
Yeah.
They have missed on every lineman that they drafted. Jed,
right?
DeJuan, you have to count as
DeJuan,
unfortunately.
Luke hasn't been really in the rotation. And Zinter,
Nick Harris.
Wasn't there a Hubbard guy here?
James Hudson.
Who was the guy from Florida State we drafted in the first round?
Well, he was
Irvin?
Yeah, that was a while ago too.
Oh yeah, that was.
Wasn't he with Joe though? Wasn't he?
Was he with Joe?
Yeah, I think he was
okay,
with
I'm just
Joe.
trying.
Yeah,
It all runs together. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, listen, their offensive line in 23 when they made the playoffs was
decent.
better.
It was solid, yeah. That was the best year.
Well, they were healthy too.
They were younger and they were healthy.
No, 23 they weren't healthy. They had two. They was on their fourth and third string tackles.
Yeah, that's
Are you
true.
thinking about 20 when they made the playoffs?
Well, the offensive line was good then, but even in 23 with the injuries to the tackles, the offensive line was still decent.
Yeah, I agree.
Because Pochich had his best year and the guards were still in their prime. Now your guards are past their prime. They're just okay at best. Pochich is not that good anymore, and your tackles are terrible. So the fact that you're not as good, we still talk about the middle of their offensive line as if it's very good. It's not.
I also think that because we don't have a legitimate quarterback and we don't have legitimate weapons on the outside, it makes everything
the evaluation on
a glaring weakness.
Yes. Everything on offense trying to evaluate is just difficult.
I do think that Judkins, if he continues to play like this, it's going to make the offensive line not seem like it's that big of a weakness.
Right, because he's making them better.
Yes.
Well, I told you Nick Chubb did that years ago, but nobody
absolutely.
They didn't want to hear me when I said that. But what week are we in? This is 8, right? The trade deadline is when? Next week?
Coming up, isn't it?
It's in early November. I don't know exactly when.
I believe it's right after the bye. I'll double check, but I believe it's right after the bye for the Browns.
So if they making some trades on the line, like this, so this game technically is if the Browns
November 4th.
No, I'm saying like sending veterans away.
Oh,
because it was that report came out that they was about to do a fire sale. So like I would imagine if they lose to the Patriots,
we could see that. I don't think Batonio's going anywhere. I mean, could Wyatt Teller or Pochich be traded? I guess. I mean, you're going to get
Njoku's the most likely to get dealt.
Yeah, I mean he's gone at the end of the year. So
November 4th.
What's the deadline?
November 4th, so right after the bye. So this is their last game before the deadline, and then they have an entire week to evaluate with the bye.
Yeah, we've seen more trades in recent years. It's the only thing that baseball and basketball have an advantage over the NFL. They have a more exciting trade deadline, and so the NFL is trying to. It's like the one thing they can't beat those sports in. So last year was an interesting. I want to say there were like 14 trades in the 24 hours before the deadline. Which is a lot last year.
Speaking of trades, this guy wasn't traded, but I thought about, a guy I want to see more of? That Corley guy, Malachi Corley.
We were talking about him this morning. His third-round pick of the Jets last year, they cut him after one season as a third-round pick.
I mean, it's not like we got freaking Randy Moss on the outside, so he had a nice little screenplay. I want to see more. Let's see.
Yeah.
I want to know, I mentioned this briefly yesterday, but I'm going to take it another step. If you cut every wide receiver, let's say secretly, Browns didn't announce this, but they secretly cut every wide receiver besides Jerry Jeudy and replaced them with guys off the street, would we know a difference?
Yes. That's too disrespectful. Yes. Yes, you would.
Even with, what's his name? The 6th-round pick from last year?
Jamari Thrash.
He's so terrible.
Jamari Thrash?
Yeah.
6th-round pick.
I think he was he a 6th or 5th? It might have been 5th.
I don't remember now.
So what's the difference?
That's another position.
Actually, it's about 20,000.
That's another position that the Browns have had no hits in the draft. All right, Mike, what do you got for us?
We're going to talk a little Cavs here before we bring Mary Kay onto the show. Jason and I did an Ultimate Cavs show this morning, previewing the upcoming season. We'll do some more Cavs stuff tomorrow. We're going to have a live post-game show after the Cavs-Knicks game tomorrow night, so we'll have a live reaction. If you want to hear some more Cavs talk, make sure you check out the Ultimate Cavs show. It's on our YouTube page. Went for about 35 minutes this morning. And I also did a little Cavs preview on Bulls podcast, which comes out tomorrow, so y'all can check out that.
You got a Cavs?
We're going to start our Cavs preview, by the way, with some over-under projections for the Cavs' biggest players. I'm not asking for individual stats. I'm going to give you guys their entire stat line for the upcoming season. And you guys tell me if each individual player were outperform or underperform the stat projections that I came up with. These were not FanDuel. These are not any other sports book. These are simply what I think these guys can hit this year. So it's either a yes, they'll do better, or a no, they'll do worse. Not, well, I think points will be higher, rebounds will be lower, et cetera, et cetera. It's either all or nothing. So you guys ready?
Ready.
Let's do it. We'll start with Donovan Mitchell. If Donovan puts up a season that looks like this, 25.5 points per game, 45% from the floor, 41% from three, 4 rebounds, and 5.5 assists, would you guys take that? You think he overperforms or underperforms that entire statistical profile?
I was a little confused. I thought we were saying whether he would do better or worse. You're saying, would this be a good season or not?
Do you think he'll do better than this season, or do you think he'll underperform compared to this as the baseline?
Oh, okay. So I am right.
Yeah. So this is the baseline, better or worse?
Will he do better or worse, guys? Tyvis?
I feel like he'd be right around there. I'm going to go with he might do a little bit better. I think that his assist numbers would be a little bit better because of the fact that Darius won't be there for a little bit of that beginning of that season. He'll be able to get them numbers up. And I think he took that backseat role last year, like as far as like the scoring goes. And I think he was like okay with it, but like according to Mike, he in mid-season form already. So if that's the case, he probably going to overachieve them points per game. So I'm going to say a little bit over.
Mike, what were his numbers last year?
24 a game.
24.
4.5 rebounds a game, 5 assists per game.
Yep.
He shot 36.8% from 3. All those numbers are up. So I would say this would be great.
He's going to do better than this or worse?
See, that's the thing.
Oh, is it better? No, I don't think it's going to be better than that. I think if he gets close to this, I'd be happy. If he does what he did last year, I'd be happy.
So is he going to overperform these numbers or underperform these numbers? You're saying more likely he's going to underperform.
Mike has made this game a little confusing.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm not that smart.
See, that's what I'm saying. Because I would agree. Like, I would just take that and be fine.
So, would you take this as the
yes,
all day, all day, every day?
Certainly would take this. I do think his numbers are going to be a little better than this, which is pretty impressive because it would be better than last year. But I agree with Tyvis. I think his assists will be a little higher, especially earlier in the season, for 2 reasons. One, Darius is not there, and from talking to Mike mostly, they're really going to make a point, even more so, of making sure Evan Mobley is a key focus of the offense, and Donovan Mitchell is a part of the key of making that happen. I also think he's going to score more because Darius is not here, although it sounds like from what Mike's saying that Darius may be back sooner than we think, but Max Strus is not going to be here for a while. And it'll be interesting. Well, how often do you think Lonzo Ball and Donovan Mitchell will be on the court together?
Isn't that not the starting
line? A good bit, yeah.
Is that not the starting lineup?
No, Sam Merrill's going to start the 2.
Oh.
So what do you think? Like, what you think they'll be on the court together?
I think they're going to ease Lonzo into it. Let's just say Lonzo plays 20 minutes a game. I think it's probably a 50-50 split, 10 minutes alongside Don and 10 minutes without. So I don't think it's going to be a giant overlap.
How do you think they run the offense when they overlap?
When Lonzo's in the game, I hope Lonzo's the initiator of the offense and they use more Donovan in off-ball situations to
and that'd be good for him physically.
Yeah, it would be very good for him physically. Yeah.
So I think because of that, Donovan's points will go up a little bit, especially early in the season without Darius. So, all right, we're all feeling positive.
I feel like
Donovan.
early in the season he's going to have to because Max Strus is out and Darius is out. So
Strus is out for a while.
The scoring's got to come from.
Yeah, Strus will not be back anytime soon.
DeAndre Hunter also might not play in the opener tomorrow.
Boo.
Yes. Darius is our next guy, and I guess
overperform. I don't care what you say.
however you want to phrase this, guys. But
that's
Darius,
the
season projection, 21 points per game, 49% from the floor, 42 from 3 rebounds, 7 assists. These are slightly up from his numbers last year, but ever so slightly.
I would go overperform on the field goal percentage. He's going to be in the 50-40-90 club.
Damn.
He was close last year.
I know. That's why I said he's going to get it this year.
What's his injury again? I can't remember.
It's still a toe. It's the toe from last year.
It's a turf toe.
I couldn't remember what it was.
He got surgery on it.
Turf toe. Dustin, what do you got on Darius?
I'm pulling up I was looking at his numbers from last year just to see where they were exactly. These are all up too. I mean,
these are slightly up. He averaged 20.6 points and 6.7 rebounds.
Yeah, I think that he'll be under this.
I agree. I'm down on Darius Garland. He's coming off injury. He's frequently hurt. I could see I think his scoring definitely is going to be down this year. I could see it's going to be interesting because they got this focus on Evan Mobley, and Lonzo Ball plays into that. And certainly Donovan does too. It'll be interesting to see when Darius comes back if that changes at all. Because ultimately, we've talked about this a million times, if the Cavs are going to be the best version of themselves, it has to be with Evan Mobley as a superstar leading the way, or at least co-leading the way with Donovan. And Darius has got to be the third guy.
I actually agree with you guys. I would go under those numbers. And another reason, I think DeAndre Hunter, who we'll get to in a little bit, is going to score a lot more than people think he's going to score this year.
All right.
So we'll get to him later, though. Let's go to Evan Mobley. Obviously, guys, we've talked a lot about Evan. These are the biggest statistical projection jumps from a previous season this season.
5 points per game up.
Yep.
1 rebound per game up.
Yeah,
and almost 1 assist per game up.
And the efficiency from beyond the arc up as well.
What did he shoot from 3 last year? He actually was worse from 3 last year than the year before.
Yeah, it was 37 versus 38, but on higher volume. So
yeah, that's true.
It was a better three-point shooting season in totality, even if the percentage was slow.
I'd like to see him up his free throw stats,
Man,
too.
if he what's his free throw percentage?
I would
72.
take them numbers right there, boy.
I'd like to see him get in the 80s.
Mobley shot 73%.
I'd like to see him in the 80s because he gets to the line a ton. This is a great stat line. I'm going to say he'll be north of the points per game.
Wow.
Well, because Garland's going to go down, and we just kind of talked about that a little bit. I think Mobley's going to be up.
They going to make him go up.
Yeah.
If Mobley plays like this in the playoffs, they're going to the finals. If this is what he's doing in the playoffs, now we'll see. I know we're talking about regular season. But if he's a 24, 25-point-a-game guy with 10 boards and 4 assists in the playoffs, if he's that kind of player, I mean, that's superstar level.
I'm going to drink the Kool-Aid. I'm going to say he's going to do a little bit better. I'm going to say about 24, 25 points a game.
I'm going to be the one negative Nancy here. I just don't see a 5-point jump is a lot.
It is.
He's only gone up 2.5 points from year 1 to
forcing
year
it on him, though.
4. I hear you, but there's a lot of good scorers on this team. You know, I mean, where are all those points coming from? I know we think Darius is going to be down, but Donovan's going to be at least the same, if not more. Allen's going to score his points. I don't think that's going to change significantly. And you said DeAndre Hunter you think is going to score more.
I do.
I know you don't have Ty Jerome, and Lonzo won't score as much as Ty Jerome. But you think Sam Merrill is going to play more, so he'll probably score a little more.
You don't have Strus for a big chunk of the season, though. That's
Yeah,
another
I hear you.
12
But
points
Larry Nance will be he'll score some points, whereas he's replacing Tristan Thompson, who was a 0. So I don't know. I mean, that's a big jump.
It would happen, I think, if he increases his 3-point shooting percentage, and obviously I just mentioned free throws. That's another point or two maybe per game, and then. Last year, he averaged 3.2 threes per game.
Right.
Average making 1.2.
Right. So if
he makes 2 threes a game?
If he goes up to where he's doing what like
1.7
out of 4 per game,
and he's going to take more threes. I promise you right now, he will be taking more threes this year.
That gets you there right there with maybe an extra free throw or 2 and then an extra 3.
By the way, sidebar note. I was watching a video of Reggie Miller.
Great shooter.
Being asked in their prime, starting a team, who are you taking, LeBron or Larry Bird? And Reggie Miller said Larry Bird.
Shocker.
Did he play Larry?
Larry Bird coached him.
Okay.
Yeah, of course he's saying Larry.
Go ahead.
All right, next one. Jared Allen. This is essentially a copy and paste of what he did last year. Can we get this from Jared Allen again? Essentially, could he repeat what he did last year?
Yeah, because
his scoring goes down a little bit.
He is who he is. He's the most consistent as far as numbers go. He give you about the same stat line every year, so I'm going to say I'd take that right there. If I had to choose between over and under, then I'd agree with Bull that maybe he'd be slightly under.
Yeah. I'll say he doesn't. I'd say he scores less because
I think he scores less too.
Right. If you guys are right
about Mobley, yeah.
About Mobley, then he's going to have to score a little less.
I agree.
And I just think I think he'll play less minutes to just kind of free up Mobley a little more.
I think too in closing situations
he's out. Right.
He's out.
I think it depends on matchup, but I will die on the hill that the Cavs' best closing lineup involves Mobley at the 5 and Hunter at the 4. Like I'm just going to die on that hill till I'm proven wrong. And if he's not in for those final 6 minutes of fourth quarters in a lot of situations, those numbers you see on the screen, just based on the minutes he's playing, go down a little bit.
Who's your closing 5 in the playoffs right now if everybody's healthy?
Everyone's healthy.
Lonzo in there?
I want to see how he plays alongside Darius and Donovan.
Right. That's weird.
I think he could fit alongside those two. Like I think he could be your 3 in that situation.
Length in terms of protecting the perimeter
would be huge. Isn't he like 6'7"?
Mike was
He's
saying.
6'6".
His arms are down
a legit
to
6'6".
his ankles, man. He's
and
long.
if you have him, because Hunter's 6'8", and his arms, wingspan's 7'2". Mobley, you're not that small. You're small on the perimeter, but you have a lot of switchability and flexibility. We'll see who else steps up, but
you wouldn't take.
I'm fascinated by that trio.
You wouldn't take Darius out, even though he's the liability in closing minutes, and put Lonzo at the 1.
He was also their best offensive player in the clutch.
So if Lonzo's not out there?
Yeah, that's true.
Who is out there?
Max Strus.
No, see, I'm worried about the defensive capabilities of the 2 small guards and Strus alongside Hunter.
So then if it's not Allen and it's not Strus and it's not Lonzo,
I'm thinking.
If you tell me the white stiff is out there, we're going to fight.
Dean Wade.
No, it wouldn't be. I think
Larry Nance.
Yeah, I think if Larry's playing well, you have a chance because then you can slide DeAndre to the 3 and you're supersized front court, but you still have shooting. Because the issue with the supersized front court last year, Allen's better than Larry Nance Jr., but there's just not as much spacing. There's just not the offensive threat that Larry Nance provides. And I've said this stat before. I'll say it again. Larry was the second most efficient three-point shooting big in the league last year. Small volume, but literally number 2 behind Nikola Jokic. That's how
many
efficient
threes
he
did he take per game?
4.2 when he shot 44% on threes. It was real volume.
Larry Nance is shoot like that?
Yeah, well, he's old. He's not the athlete he was.
Yeah,
You're
I
not going to
guess
see Larry posterize guys.
How old is he?
Larry Nance is now 32 years old. He turns 33
Dang,
in January.
he up there like that?
Is this his second or third stint with the Cavs?
Second.
I can't remember.
Second.
This is his second stint with the Cavs.
All right.
Lakers, Cleveland, Portland, New Orleans, Atlanta, and back to Cleveland. Yeah, last year he shot 44.7% from 3 on 4.
I remember him when he was just coming in the league.
All right, what do you got next?
It gives you spacing. All right, Hunter is up next. Now, I'm buying Mobley stock. I'm also buying all the DeAndre Hunter stock. So I made these once again. I may be too high on Hunter. Do you guys think DeAndre can reach these numbers, or am I too high and expecting too much from the Cavs' big acquisition from last
What's
season?
the most points per game he's averaging?
I'm going under just because Mike think he's going to get this. Simply, that's the only reason.
Mike take
fade Mike. If this was a parlay, I'd fade Mike.
You said what's the most points he's ever averaged?
Yeah.
He was averaging 19 in Atlanta last year before the trade.
Oh.
In 38 games.
I do appreciate a good fade, Tyvis, but I'm going to go with Mike on this one. I'll say he's around these numbers. I don't know that I can go any higher than that, but I'll say he's around these numbers. I can see him scoring 18 a game. Dustin, what do you got?
18 seems high.
It is. It's a lot.
It seems high.
Fade Mike.
You're out. Fade Mike.
I'm not fading Mike. I'm more fading DeAndre Hunter.
Fading Hunter.
Yeah, I'll go under that.
All right. Go ahead,
That's
Mike.
fair. One thing on Hunter, and obviously he went knee to knee with somebody in the final preseason game. He's day to day. We'll see if he plays tomorrow. They are going to rely on him as an isolation scorer at a bunch of different opportunities throughout the game when he has mismatches. We saw it in that first game against Chicago. If they put someone smaller on Hunter, he put his ass straight to the blocks at giving a rock and put some nice post moves on and had a nice little fadeaway jump shot. I'm hoping that wasn't just a one-off. I'm hoping they take advantage of that because if they have Hunter and teams want to guard him with a smaller defender at 6'8", the way he shoots with his wingspan, you're not blocking his shot. It's just a matter is he going to make it or miss it. That's the one size mismatch on the perimeter the Cavs have, and I hope they take advantage. So that's why I'm high on Hunter. Lonzo Ball, next up. Bo, this is the hardest one to come up with because I don't really know. So with 8.5, 4 rebounds, 5.5 assists, 43% from the floor, 37% from beyond the arc. To hit these, he probably has to play a good bid. But do you think this is possible?
Definitely. I think it could be even better than that. The thing is with Lonzo, I mean, you got to be careful with how much you play him because he's so injury prone. But then again, like, I don't know. If a guy's injury prone, does it matter if he plays 18 minutes a game or 24? Is that going to make a difference? Is the extra 6 minutes? I don't know. Maybe it's better for him to play more minutes. Maybe that'll.
How many minutes do you think he's going to play?
20 minutes a game, Mike? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I think just to be safe, they're only going to play about 20 minutes a game.
All right, so for reference, his best season as a pro came in 2021 or 2020, 2021 with the Hornets. Or Pelicans, excuse me.
He played for the Hornets?
New Orleans. Pelicans.
I got you.
Thank you. The Pelicans. He played 31 minutes a game.
All right, that's a lot.
Right, so you're not going to play that. But he scored almost 15 a game.
Right. Okay.
So
you think it might be a little bit better?
Yeah, I think that this 8.5, 9 is,
right.
8.5, 9, 10 points is where it should be.
Yeah. I mean, I care more about the assists and the rebounds and the defense
his assists will be there
than I do with the points. I think he's going to average more than 5.5 assists. What did he average? What's the career average in assists?
5.8.
5.8. Well, so why would you think he'd be down? Just because he's not going to play as many minutes?
Just his minutes will be down. That's 5.8 in a career 28-minute per game.
I think he's gonna have what's his
but
best.
Isn't he playing with the best talent around him he's ever played with?
Without a doubt.
So I was going to say
I got him up on the assists.
I agree.
I think he could average like 6.5 assists.
What's been his best season of assists? Like
7.2.
Ooh.
And that was playing what? 28 minutes a game.
34. As a rookie year, 34 minutes a game.
All right. I mean, that's a lot. But still, I
think he's going to get more than 5.5.
It comes down to how many minutes he's going to play.
And that's why this was the hardest one to kind of
so it's hard because you don't know you don't have a feel for it
5.5 a lot, too.
But early in the season, with no Garland and no Strus, I mean, I think he's, then again, they might just play Jalen Tyson, not Tyson, but
Craig Porter Jr.,
Craig
Tyrese
Porter
Proctor. I'll say this real quick because we got Mary Kay in the queue, so we got to wrap it up.
Yeah.
But Lonzo's injury last year wasn't related to the debilitating knee injury that kept him out 2 years, and from all accounts, he is fully healthy in camp right now.
It was an ACL 2 years ago, right?
Well, he had the degenerative knee issues, which kept him out the back-to-back years. Last year, he landed it on his wrist. His knee was fine, landed on his wrist and hurt his wrist. So it was a completely separate injury last year. The knee, for 2 years now, has been healthy, which is what kept him out. So that was the biggest issue.
Right.
We'll see if he can stay healthy.
How old is he?
Lonzo is 27 years old.
All right, still young enough.
It's crazy.
Really?
I thought he was like
he turns 28.
He was like 32.
Yeah.
He turns 28 next week.
Man, I've been hearing about him for so long.
Since high school.
I guess.
He was a one and done, though.
Listen,
So he's been in the league since like 19.
If he can stay healthy, he's an X factor for the Cavs.
By the way, did anybody see Bryce James play his first college game yesterday?
How'd he do?
I did not. Save it for overtime because we got Mary Kay in the queue.
Okay, I didn't see the full stats.
Who's he playing
I saw a funny
for?
video about it.
He's on Arizona. We're going to bring Mary Kay Cabot into the show after a quick word from FanDuel. Guys, FanDuel has a brand new offer for new customers that you don't want to miss. New customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if they win. That's right. Pick a $5 bet. If it hits, you unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com/UCSS to download the FanDuel app and get started today. And with that, we are thrilled to welcome in the Hall of Famer, Mary Kay Cabot, to the show. How you doing, Mary Kay?
I'm doing great, guys. How you doing?
We're doing great. Good to have you with us, Mary Kay. And we were talking. I mean, we're talking a lot of things, but let's start with this right tackle situation and we always start with quarterback. So let's shake it up a little bit. The Browns were rotating right tackles, something you never see. Why do you think he did it? I mean, at least for one game it worked against a bad Dolphins team. Is that something you're expecting him to continue to do?
Well, I think that they're hoping that Jack Conklin will be back at right tackle.
Oh, okay.
And return from his concussion this week. In a perfect world, that's what they want to happen. And then if they can stabilize the other side with Cam Robinson, then they won't have to be doing this kind of rotating. No, it's not ideal. It's not that they would want to have happen, but KT does some things pretty well. And then Cornelius is a longtime veteran. So I think they just kind of wanted to mix it up and have right tackle by committee in this past game.
Another thing on offense that they did with great success that they had not done in the past very often was run the Wildcat at the goal line. They did it twice where Quinshon Judkins took the snap, and both times he scored a touchdown. Is that something that we'll continue to see, or is this kind of specific for the Miami situation?
Well, it was specific for the weather conditions. That was born out of necessity that they were going to try to do this. But since it worked, I don't see why you wouldn't try it again. He actually took 3 Wildcat snaps, and I could definitely see him doing it again. Right now, you've got to be as creative as you can. You've got to do whatever you can to move the ball. And remember that when your passing game isn't going right, and it isn't yet, then you have to find very, very creative ways to make sure that you can get Quinshon Judkins on the move into the end zone and whatever you have to do. So I do think we'll see more of it, and we saw plenty of jumbo in this game too.
Mary Kay, do you think that this Sunday against the Patriots, that whether they win or lose, that can have some implications on what they want to do for the trade deadline?
I actually kind of think so. I think that if you win this game and you go to 3-5, knowing the kinds of games that you have coming up after that with teams that have won 0 games or 1 game or 2 games, I do think that it puts you in a mind frame of, hey, maybe we can claw our way back into this thing a little tiny bit. So I actually think that, maybe it would change the philosophy a little bit, although I think their trade philosophy is more of a long-term thing than a short-term thing. And I think that, if anything, they will be buyers as opposed to sellers in the trade market going forward between now and November 4th. I do think that they would like to add a couple of players, guys that you can get on multi-year contracts that you're going to have around for 2, 3, maybe even 4 years. So I think that's what they would like to do. And then, once again, if you lose the game, change your philosophy the other way where you're more willing to part with the guy. I think anything can happen going forward.
Does Flacco playing well on Thursday night make the Browns look bad?
No, I don't think so. I really don't think so, because he wasn't going to play here anymore. And it's not like they got some great draft pick out of it. All they did was move up a little bit from the 6th round to the 5th round in 2026. But I think what it tells us is that the Browns really don't have much of a receiving core this year. They don't have much of a passing game. And when you take Joe Flacco and you put him on a team where he can throw to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Noah Fant and Andre Iosivas, then he's going to look better. And I knew that was going to happen going into that game, and I tweeted that at some point or wrote about that at some point, where I thought he would look a whole lot better throwing to some of those guys than what he had going on here. And I think it'll be the same way for a while for Dillon and for Shedeur if Shedeur gets in here. I think that they need to elevate their passing game somehow. And I actually would be going out and buying a receiver. I don't think, or I don't know if they have any plans to do that. I sort of don't think they have any plans to do that. But that's one thing that I would be doing. I would be going out and getting a veteran, sure-handed receiver, somebody that you could have around for a couple of years after this year as well, and just give your quarterbacks something to look forward to when they go out there and try to throw the ball.
What was your thoughts on, because I see it was a pretty controversial topic, what was your thoughts on the end of the game of Shedeur not getting reps?
That should not have been controversial.
I didn't have a huge problem with that. It didn't really necessarily occur to me. You don't really see that all that often when a team is winning a game the way that they were winning the game. You don't really see the backup come in all that often. So that didn't do anything for me at all. I think a lot of people just want Shedeur to play so much that they're hoping that that's going to happen. But they're going to give Dillon a decent on-ramp to make sure that he has the opportunity to go out there, show what he can do, get better each week, look good. They're not going to give up on him too quickly. And that would probably open up a can of worms for them if they start throwing Shedeur in there, even in spot duty right now. So I'm not really feeling that or really seeing it. But I will say this. In practice, Shedeur Sanders has been making a ton of progress. He looks really good. I've been saying this over and over again. If you put Shedeur and Dillon Gabriel side by side or one after the other in a 7-on-7 red zone drill, I think that Shedeur would probably win that drill much of the time. Or if you put them up against each other in a pockets drill where you're throwing the ball into the little pockets in the net, I think Shedeur would win that a lot of the time. But there are so many other things that you have to do. You have to be able to protect yourself. You have to be able to read the defense. You have to be able to call the play, slide the protections, manage the motions, and do all those things. He's coming up the learning curve very, very quickly and very well on all of that. The reviews I'm hearing from inside the building are really, really good on Shedeur's progress right now. But I think they still want to give Dillon some time. Now, he's got to make some points out there. He's got to produce and generate some touchdown passes. But for now, I think the status quo will be maintained.
I think that's great to hear, though. I mean, the fact that you're hearing inside the building that there's been major improvement in the areas where he needs to improve to be ready to play. The fact that that's the word is an extreme positive for those who have been frustrated by Shedeur not playing and his coverage. So that's a major positive, and I'm sure somebody will find a way to spin that in a negative way, but because that's what happens with Shedeur. But anyway, yeah, I mean, as you said, Dillon Gabriel, listen, he's played 3 games. It's certainly not enough. He's got very little talent around him. To me, he hasn't done much to stand out. Has he done anything for you to stand out in these 3 games?
Well, in this past game, I think it was really hard to evaluate a quarterback on his passing skills, right? I mean, anybody's going to struggle in those conditions. I thought he did some good things. I thought he protected the ball for the most part, although he could have been picked off a couple of times. But he protected the ball in those wet, slick conditions, wasn't dropping anything, fumbling anything. He didn't lose the ball on either of his 2 sacks. He did that well. I thought he rolled out and moved well, and I think that's important because that is what this offense is predicated on a lot, is that quarterback movement, and that's one thing that Shedeur doesn't necessarily have, although you really can run a lot of those bootlegs and keepers and that kind of thing with pretty much any quarterback that I've seen in my experience. But just in terms of being faster and more mobile, Dillon has that edge over Shedeur. And then, of course, from everything that we've been hearing, his processing speed is faster, or has been to this point, over Shedeur's. But maybe Shedeur has caught up in that regard. So we'll have to see how that goes as we go along. But I do think that the Browns will play Shedeur at some point this season.
Yeah. Mary Kate, Myles Garrett had some comments. He always has comments, and he speaks his opinion. And when you make more than anybody in the league at that position, you can't say your opinion, and no one can say a darn thing about it.
Nope.
Point being, some people may look at that and be like, he needs to maybe not do that. But either way, he can. Do you think that helped motivate the team at all?
It may have. When your team leader is standing up and sort of calling things out. If nothing else, it ruffled some feathers. It really ruffled some feathers. And from after that, we heard that Kevin Stefanski came out and really laid into the offense in a team meeting on Monday. And that really that seems out of character for Kevin. But everybody was getting so frustrated by the offense just not doing its part. And it kind of started with Myles coming out after that Steelers game and saying, I'm frustrated as hell by losing the same way every week. So I think it got the ball rolling on trying to wake up the offense. But really, when you look at this offense, they only scored 10 points in their own right without help from a turnover in this past game. 21 points were scored off of turnovers. So it wasn't like it was this big change and this big improvement overall from the offense. They got a lot of help from the defense and special teams to do what they did. Still have a lot to prove.
So with that being said, obviously they got the Patriots this Sunday. Braves was just in the building. What do you think they have to do to win that game?
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to try to figure out how to beat Braves because he's got his team playing really, really well. The game is on the road, and as we know, all 3 of those losses before this Miami game came on the road. and it's just going to be tough. He's got Drake May playing really well. He's really accurate, and they're scoring some points. So I think it's going to be a tough game to win. And because Mike Vrabel was in the building, he knows the Browns personnel inside and out for the most part, and he knows the scheme inside and out. So he helped in every phase of the game, really. So I think it's going to be very, very difficult for them to go and stack a win here, but it can be done. Remember, they're playing a young quarterback in Drake May, and this Browns defense, I would stack it up pretty much with any defense in the NFL, and they can make life very tough on Drake May if they want to.
Mary Kay, thank you as always. We appreciate the time, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Sounds good. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, Mary Kay Cabot, Cleveland.com. Always good to chat with her. The Browns have not won back-to-back games since 23, correct?
Yeah, the Flacco run, right?
I think since the Flacco run.
Well, Bo, while you're looking up that, let me do a read because we have our next guest ready to talk about Browns football. Aditi's brought to us by Mazda, for those who believe it's not just about playing the game. It's about redefining it because these moments do more than win. They push what's possible, reminding us to go that extra yard, shift into that extra gear, and keep the game moving forward. When you follow what moves you, the unexpected is only the beginning. And just like there's more to every highlight, there's more to every Mazda. Mazda, move and be moved.
December 28th, 2023 is the last time the Browns won a game when they had won the week before. Aditi Kinkhabwala is with us from CBS. She was on the broadcast in the miserable weather. She toughed it out, unlike her colleagues. Yeah, it wasn't as bad as we thought it was going to be.
What were they, Aditi? Were they saying that you prefer it to be it wasn't raining hard enough for you? Was it?
You know what, Dustin, first of all, thank you so much for listening to our broadcast. Yeah. And yes, I got in the car because I can't stand this like half bleep drizzle. That's just annoying if it drizzles on you all day. So if it's going to be weather, be enough weather that it's actually a story, that we're paying attention to a slick field or how guys are. I mean, I remember a few years ago, there was a monsoon in Philadelphia. It was the Jaguars at the Eagles, and Trevor Lawrence and I were both wringing out our hair like this. Like, it was fun. It was funny. And you know what? I was expecting sort of not optimum football out of the Dolphins. So if you're not getting great football on the field, you want something to be fun. So it was fun. But the winds weren't nearly as bad as I thought they would be.
No, it was nothing.
Like, we were told 40-mile-per-hour gusts. Right. Yeah.
Are you surprised? That's not Browns related, but are you surprised that Mike McDaniel didn't get fired after this game, or no?
No, only because Stephen Ross has repeatedly offered sort of this like vote of confidence, and or if not a vote of confidence, has kind of thrown his support behind him. So I don't know. You know what, guys? It's really funny. I think I've said this to you before. The longer that I do this, the more uncomfortable I get thinking about people losing their jobs. Not that it's not a reality, not that everybody has to ultimately perform and we're all held to some sort of standard, but I also feel like, I don't know, it's like we're in this league where, you know, you don't let anything percolate. It's like, it's got to be instant, and that's it. And then you think about people who are indeed given time. And it's not just coaches. It's also like young quarterbacks. You know, think about Dan Campbell. He started his career, I think it was 4-19-1. And look at what he's done with that team. Or think about Peyton Manning and what his first year was. I mean, if that was today, Peyton Manning would have been called a bust. You know? So I just think that, I don't know, maybe I'm saying this because I have the Jets this week. But it's like, how... Yeah. I don't... Yeah, so it seems like they're still on the Mike McDaniel, Chris Greer train for some time. It wasn't a sideline where guys had quit. I will say that. Like, I see when players are not engaged, when they're going through the motions. I did not see that, but I did see sort of that they were stunned. And I think that that's because Mike McDaniel felt so strongly that he was going to see conviction out of all three units, and everything kept going wrong. But, I mean, at some point, maybe you shouldn't be stunned. Maybe you should be able to figure out what you need to do better.
Good point.
I don't know, but you don't care about the Dolphins. You care about the Browns.
Yeah,
right?
all right.
So.
Yeah. about the Browns, so obviously they won in a dominant fashion. As far as the defense goes, obviously people still had their questions about the offense. Do you think that they were able to do this because of the weather, or do you think that they figured something out?
Well, I think that it always comes down to getting key plays, game-changing plays. And it's funny because for so long, we've all been talking about takeaways with this defense. And it's funny because in our production meeting, Jim Schwartz was a little salty, saying essentially it's such a pet peeve when people ask about turnovers, because it's not like there's an interception call, and we said this in the broadcast, it's not like there's an interception call on his play sheet that he's not calling or that he's not dialing up. But we saw special teams be able to turn the ball over. We saw defense be able to make certain plays. And a lot of times, sometimes, it's just, that was ridiculous. I said a lot of times, sometimes. But anyway, I think confidence begets confidence. Right, Dustin? Don't you feel like once you do it, you just feel a little bit better
100%.
about it? That's why they say turnovers come in bunches. And sure, Dillon Gabriel wasn't, Bull and I actually talked about this on the phone. He didn't have these gaudy numbers, but in a rain game, he played smart football. He did what was necessary. And they stayed committed to the run. And you saw why they love Quinshon Judkins, how he is absolutely a power back who still also has home run speed.
Go Bucks.
And that was really good to see.
Do you think that Judkins, by the end of the season, will be considered a top 5 back in the league?
Gosh, that's throwing that out there. I don't know. Can the line play well? Can they stay committed to the run? I liked him a lot. I'll say that. I know that Deuce Staley was very high on him. Seeing him up close and having an opportunity to have a conversation with him, I was impressed in the way that we chatted. I'll say that. And then you look at him, he's so powerfully built. But again, like I said, he's still got that breakaway speed. So he's not just the bruiser. He can run away from people. And he clearly wants to be an every down back. So you like that. This is a guy that wants the ball, isn't afraid of having the ball. What they were able to do with the Wildcat with him, we watched it in practice. There's a lot of trust there. And he's still kind of getting up to speed. Remember, he wasn't even activated until the second week of the season. So each week, he's still sort of stacking more on his plate. So, yeah, it's possible. But of course, Dustin, a running back is really only as good as his line and the rest of his offense.
True.
Do you have a threat?
I guess I just mean more like this guy has the talent to be that good.
Yeah. Barry Sanders.
For sure. Yes.
And you said all the things.
That, but you also, look, this offense needs to have some sort of threat of being able to throw the ball downfield. Because if you don't, then you're not running. I mean, as we're watching the Jets right now, there's no threat that Justin Fields is getting the ball anywhere. So, how can we really assess Breece Hall when they can't throw the ball?
Do you think he's going to play, by the way, or do you think it's going to be
Aditi, there will be no Buckeye slander on this show.
Yikes.
Is it going to be Tyrod or Fields, Aditi? What do you think?
I sort of feel like it might be Tyrod. Yeah.
Okay. By the way,
it might be Tyrod.
Jay was supposed to be here today, but he is reeling. He had to call in sick because he's reeling because Baker Mayfield was terrible last night, and he is completely off kilter about this. Just when I had finally gone all in on Baker, he had his worst game in 2 years. What happened?
Maybe he heard that you were all in on him. He loves being the underdog, so maybe that was it. Maybe, and he is so motivated and driven by the haters. And when he heard that one of his number one haters was not hating as much, he was like, "Well, we got to change that. I need Bull ripping me."
I know. It's so funny because I was watching this video on it, mindlessly scrolling on Instagram, and I watched this video of some funny. What was that?
I said, "Do you have time for that?"
I really don't, but I do it anyway. But I watched this video, and it's all these clips of Baker being very funny with the media in Tampa, and I'm like, where was this guy? I mean, he had his moments here, but I was like, he's such a different guy now. He's so likable.
Okay. So let me tell
maturity?
you, number one, can you send that to me? Because unlike you, I do love Baker. So I would love to watch that. Please send it to me.
I'll try to find it. I lose these videos all the time when I see them on Instagram. Yeah,
nuts. All right. Well, when you see funny Baker Mayfield stuff, definitely send it to me. But I will tell you this: we had them last year against the Raiders, and in our production meeting, he was saying that when he walked into the building, one of the first things that Todd Bowles said to him was, "You be you. We want you to be you. We don't want you to tamp down your personality. We don't want you to conform in any way to what we think is the image of a franchise quarterback. The quarterback we want is the authentic, sincere Baker Mayfield." And he told us that was different from other places that he had been. So I think what you're seeing... Well, that's not necessarily. I'm not saying any of that. He was also in Carolina. Remember, he was also in Carolina, which he is, which he will probably tell you was worse than Cleveland, at least that year in his situation there. So, but I think what you're seeing is not only a true and authentic Baker, but Baker is also in a very different place in his life, right? And he has a total different security in who he is, and he is way more comfortable with this organization, with this offense, with this group than he ever has been. So all of that makes for him being who he is right now, or who you see now.
Speaking of being comfortable in offense, Kevin Stefanski had a lot of heat last week about being even the head coach. Do you think that this game, obviously it quieted down a lot, is that enough for him to continue to stay, or do you think that will be something that they continue to evaluate as the season goes on?
I mean, it's not about one win, right? It's about stacking wins. So can you build off of this performance? You got great effort from all three phases. You played under adverse conditions really well. You had great energy. Can you build off of that? Can you continue to show good things? I mean, look, just a couple weeks ago, we had the Titans. They put together a resilient game against the Cardinals. You know, they didn't give up. You saw what happened right there. And then a week later, they lost and Brian Callahan was fired. So at this point, you have to keep seeing really good signs of progress, I think, to quiet a lot of the external noise. And it's funny, I might have said this to you, Bull. I feel like Cleveland Browns fans are one of the two most loyal fan bases in the entire country. And I also feel like the Browns fan base, in my experience, has largely been very positive. And I just feel like this fan base has been out for blood all year, like whatever it is, whether you're talking about rookie quarterbacks, whether you're talking about the coaching staff, I don't know. And I don't know if this is just what I'm hearing and it's different this time, or if it really is a difference, but it just feels like there's a negativity permeating that I haven't really felt in 15 years. I don't know why. I don't know.
I'll give you some reasons why. I think there's some truth to that. There's definitely, I think you're right. There's more vitriol right now than there's been. Now, part of it is there's a segment of, I'll say in air quotes, the Browns fan base that are not really Browns fans. They're Shedeur Sanders fans. And so that group of people
watch it
are very angry at Kevin Stefanski and the Browns because Shedeur is not playing. So I think that's part of this, and you didn't have that group of people in the past. But I also think the fact that Baker has just played so well this year, and like before last night, he was in the discussion for MVP, whatever that's worth, through 6 weeks. I think, and just looking at the Browns quarterback situation, I think the frustration has really boiled over the fact that they had all this like young talent a few years ago, and now this draft they did a nice job. But outside of that, like, this just feels like there's no good young talent on this team. And I think people are really frustrated. And it just kind of pushed, all those things combined have pushed fans over the top.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so I appreciate you're validating that what I'm sort of feeling is indeed real. I hear what you're saying. I think the piece about Baker and as much as you dislike Baker, I love him.
I know you've always been a big fan.
I'm a huge fan of his.
Yeah.
But even I will tell you, and we've talked about this too, I don't know that had Baker stayed here, that you would have the same Baker. Baker himself has told me multiple times that he needed to hit bottom, which was essentially being sent out of Cleveland, the mess in Carolina, that he had to re-find a love for the game. He had to grow up because it was necessary. He had to grow up. Now, would he have gone through that same growing up process in Cleveland? We don't know.
Never know.
Maybe Kevin Stefanski would have gotten him there. Maybe getting married and having a child would have gotten him to that point. But you never know.
Right.
I don't know.
Hey, listen, at the time, most of us thought it made a lot of sense to get Deshaun Watson. Obviously it turned out to be a bigger disaster than anybody could have ever imagined. But at the time, it wasn't a stupid idea, based on most people's thoughts, to replace Baker with Watson, who until that point had been a far better player.
But who had
the
Houston Texans felt so strongly about that. Yeah. I mean, look, even when Jimmy Haslam is saying that was a mistake, I don't,
it was.
Hindsight is 20/20, right? I don't.
Yeah.
Clearly, at that point, that front office, which included Andrew Berry and Kwesi, who is a general manager as well, felt that they thought Deshaun had a greater chance of taking them to the heights they wanted to go than Baker. And I don't know that we could sit here and say, well, you should have known that a year off would have done this, or you should have known that psychologically this is where he was. Or it's too easy to say that now.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not like they were the only team that was pursuing him. The Falcons, the Panthers, and it was the Dolphins, right? All of those teams.
Yeah.
Am I naming those right? Were those the other three?
I don't remember the Dolphins, but you
or was
could
it
be
New
right.
Orleans?
Definitely.
I don't know. I don't remember.
No, I think you're right. I think New Orleans was there.
New Orleans, the Carolina
Definitely
Panthers,
the Falcons.
and the Falcons.
It was those three.
And the Falcons. Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Saints, the Falcons, and I remember talking to somebody who had been at the Eagles organization, and they had said that, the Eagles had done their due diligence as well, and everything that they had turned up had essentially said that they would have been comfortable pursuing him as well. So it's not like perhaps the Browns were the only ones willing to offer that much guaranteed money. At the end of the day, we don't really know, but I don't know. It's over now. It's over. Like, what can we do about it now?
All right.
So,
there's no chance he plays for the Browns this year, right?
Oh, good question.
It's funny. Spiro, my play-by-play, was asking me the same thing. I know that Deshaun told me during training camp that he's further along this time around than from the recovery the previous time around. He's obviously posting videos of what he's doing. I don't know. I honestly have no idea. You're certainly going to see Shedeur before you're going to see Deshaun.
We better.
Well, if the season goes that far
sideways,
off the rails or down the drain, sideways, you're going to want to see what you have in Shedeur, and you kind of already know what you have in Deshaun.
We do. All right, Aditi, we'll be on the sidelines, of course, when the Bengals play the Jets in Cincinnati this Sunday.
I'll say hi to Joe for all of you.
Thank you. We appreciate that. Thanks, Aditi. We'll see you
later.
soon.
That is Aditi Kinkhabwala, our favorite sideline reporter. We got one last game we're going to play here, guys. Get your whiteboards ready. Quick reminder, you want some more Cavs talk? We'll do some more Cavs talk on tomorrow's show. As they open up the season against the New York Knicks, Jason and I also taped a Ultimate Cavs show this morning that is on our YouTube page, so you guys can get some extra Cavs content on our YouTube page. Went for about 40 minutes, giving some X factors and some big picture observations on the Cavs. With that being said, guys, it's time for a little game, and I want to mention I created this game with G. Bush in mind. Of course, G. Bush is not here today. However,
I said Jay was cold and sick. That's not true. It was actually G. Bush that called and sick.
The reality is G still played the game. He sent me his answer, so we will show you his answer before we reveal it all at the end. But here's how the game's going to work. I have 5 blind resumes for quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. You guys don't need to know anything about who these quarterbacks are or what they are, but just know it's all the same sample size. So it's all in the exact same sample size.
Okay.
I am going to show you all 5 blind resumes.
These are actual quarterbacks.
These are real quarterbacks, real resumes.
This year or not necessarily?
You'll find out.
Okay.
But it's all the same sample size. It's not cherry picked. It's all the exact same sample size.
Okay.
I'm going to show you 5 resumes.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to put a graphic up on the screen that has all 5 side by side so you can compare them. I'm going to text it to you too so you guys can look at your phones because it's a lot of numbers on the screen. The goal for you guys is then to rank 1 through 5, 1 being the best, 5 being the worst. Those 5 statistical
just based on the stats you're giving us.
Based on just what you saw.
No other context.
No other context.
Okay.
And then we'll figure out afterwards why we're doing this. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Yes.
The first blind resume is quarterback number 1. And this quarterback is completing 73. What kind of music is that, Steve? Okay.
I sort of like it. Let's go.
Yeah, leave it, Steve. We like it. I just wasn't expecting it. Mystery quarterback number 1 is completing 73% of his passes, 1,755
there's an age there,
yards.
too. That'll give us a little hint.
There's a little hint. He has a 9.2 average depth of target, a 21-2 touchdown to interception ratio, a 10% pressure to sack rate, which means of all the times he's pressured, 1 out of 10 leads to a sack, and he has 2 ranked wins in this sample size.
This is college.
These are college resumes, yes.
Oh, we didn't
I thought
know that.
this was NFL the whole time.
I'm giving. They're all the same.
I'm like, whose stats are these?
Everything's the same. So this is 1.
Well, you didn't tell us they were college. Okay.
But
This is mystery quarterback number 1. I'm going to
ain't
show you all 5.
Yeah.
This ain't fair because I know who that is.
Okay,
I'm
don't
going to show you all 5, and then I want you to rank these seasons by season. So that's 1. You'll be able to see number 1 again before you have to rank them.
We got
Steve,
it.
let's see mystery quarterback number 2. This quarterback completed 72% of his passes for 2,268 yards, an average depth of target of 8.52 yards per attempt, 19 touchdowns to 6 interceptions, an 18.7 pressure to sack rate,
I know who
and
that
he had
is, too,
0.
What does pressure to sack rate mean again?
Hold on.
So of the times you get pressured,
let me
how many
write
times
these
do those
days down
pressures
because I
lead
think
to
I know
sacks?
who these is.
Well, but you're not supposed to be grading them by the name.
I know. I just wanted to see if I know who it is.
All right.
That's mystery quarterback 2.
Okay.
Mystery quarterback 3 is completing 70% of his passes, has 1,678 yards, an average depth of target of 7.9, 18 touchdowns to just 1 interception, an 18.1 pressure to sack rate, and he has 4 ranked wins.
Oh, I know who that is too. Roll Tide.
We'll see if Tyvis is right.
Roll Tide.
Tyvis, shut up. Number 4. This next quarterback's completing 76% of his passes for 2,077 yards, has a 9.6 average depth of target, 15 touchdowns to 4 interceptions, a 13.2% pressure to sack rate, and has 1 ranked win.
I don't think I know who that is.
And last but not least, here's quarterback 5. 72% passing, 1,686 yards, 9 yards per average depth of target, 19 touchdowns to 4 picks, a 13% pressure to sack rate, and 1 ranked win.
This guy's only 20, number 5?
This guy's 20.
And he's draft eligible?
He is. I just texted you a list, Steve. Take the next graphic.
Is that
and just
one
leave
Patty
this full.
Mahomes Jr.?
Steve, all you guys, I just texted you this graphic so you can see it if it's small, as you could read across. The goal now is for you guys to rank which season you think is the best, second best, third best, fourth best, and worst. 1 being the best, 5 being the worst, and then we will reveal who some of these quarterbacks may or may not be.
Oh, man, that's...
And Anthony's going to bring out G. Bush's answers. Anthony, put it face down on the table so they can't see it.
Well, mine's is...
This is so hard.
That's the point. You'll see where we're getting to this, Dustin.
There's no right or wrong answer.
There's no right or wrong answer. There's absolutely no right or wrong answer. It's enthralling podcasts.
All right, I've got my results.
Hold on, I ain't there yet.
What their team looks like, who they're playing.
We're only doing it on the information.
You're getting just based off
the
this.
sick part is I know like 3 out of the 5. So like, It's literally.
Tyvis, don't.
He's factoring that in. Tyvis factoring that in.
It was terrible having me on for this because I know who it is.
By the way,
well, I made this for G. Bush, and of course G isn't here. But we have G's answers.
Stats don't prove anything.
All right, I got my
terms
order.
of success in the NFL.
That's what we're getting at.
I'm trying to figure. I'm so busy trying to figure out who 4 and 5 is because I know who 1, 2, 3 is.
All right, Dustin, are you ready?
Indeed.
Okay. Who did you guys have as just number 1? Which quarterback did you think had the best season of the group?
I had number 1.
Dustin, who'd you have?
I put number 3.
I put 3 too.
And look at who G. Bush had. Who did G. Bush have?
G. Bush has 1.
So that means there was 2 votes for number 1 and 2 votes for number 3.
So Fernando Mendoza or Ty Simpson?
That is correct. Number 1 was Fernando Mendoza of the group. These are his numbers with the actual name next to him.
It's Dante Moore. That's who it is.
And Steve, give me number
that
3 Simpson reveal as the other quarterback that you guys had chosen with the best season thus far. Who'd you have number 2, Bull?
I had 4 second.
Dustin, who'd you have number 2?
Number 4.
Tyvis, who'd you have as number 2?
I had Fernando as 2.
And who did G. Bush have as number 2?
4.
Steve. That's not Steve. Don't take
3
that. That
fours.
is not right.
I think number 5 is
No,
Dante
that's not.
Moore.
It's not right, Steve. Down 2. Down 2. This is number 4. Yes, Steve. Show them who number 4 is.
Trying to see like it's a dog. Down boy. Down boy.
Dillon Gabriel.
Dillon Gabriel.
These are all the stats from the first 7 games of their
crazy.
final college season.
My God.
So Dillon Gabriel of all these had, statistically speaking,
I got him dead last.
Tyvis had 4 last.
That's okay.
Me, Dustin, and G. Bush.
Who'd you have number 3?
I had 3. Who they picked 1. I had him 3rd.
Yeah, Ty Simpson 3.
Dustin, who'd you have number 3?
1.
So you had Mendoza. Who'd G have number 3?
G had Ty Simpson as number 3.
We don't know. Tell us the numbers.
Fernando Mendoza is 1, Jaden Mayava's 2, Ty Simpson's 3, Dillon Gabriel's 4, and Dante Moore's 5.
No. Where'd you guys have number 2?
2? I had 2 third.
I had 2 last.
I have 2 fourth.
And G. Bush had 2 last. Steve, show him who number 2 is.
Who is 2? Shedeur?
It is Shedeur in his first 7 games of college. And that means last, Dante Moore, quarterback 5 in this example, was number 5. So, Steve, you want to put all the reveals together. These are their initials.
Who was number 3?
Ty Simpson.
Ty Simpson, the Alabama quarterback.
Okay.
Which goes to show, Bull, which we have talked about at length, college stats don't necessarily mean anything.
No.
And anyone who says
So G. Bush and I had Shedeur last.
Yes.
Dustin, where'd you have Shedeur, number 2?
3. No, I had him 4th.
I had Shedeur 3. My order was Ty Simpson, Fernando Mendoza, Shedeur Sanders, Dante Moore, Dillon Gabriel.
Did you know it was Shedeur?
I didn't. I thought it was Jaden Mayava.
Oh.
So shout out real quick. Shout out to my guy
right?
Timothy Roberts,
Who it was?
said, "Hey,
I had
you should
1
give
and
these
3.
guys a blind
I
resume
didn't know
test
who 4
to
and
see
5
if they can identify the difference in the top quarterbacks this year from the top quarterbacks last year. From a statistical standpoint, through 7 games, it's pretty obvious. There's no major difference between the two. Bull, to your point, college stats do not necessarily translate to the pros at all. What you do in 7 games in college does not necessarily mean you're going to be a high-level NFL quarterback or not.
Right.
And most importantly, and this is a shot at Steve Becker, who says none of these college quarterbacks in 26 are doing anything of matter.
Yeah.
Guess what?
Steve's out of his mind.
Statistically
Well,
speaking,
Steve is the resident quarterback expert.
some of them are having better seasons than some of the guys who were drafted last year. So
I feel bad I had Dillon last.
Why do you feel bad?
Why?
hey, why do you feel bad?
Blind numbers, dude.
Because that's crazy, because he might be last. He
number
could
is he?
potentially end up being last.
He was 5.
He was number 4.
Or 4.
In the
Oh, so I had him second. Isn't that funny? We looked at
I had him 2nd.
why. I wonder why you guys looked at the first guy the same way and we looked at it differently. But what was G. Bush's order? 1, 4, 3, 5. G. Bush and I had the exact same order.
which was Mendoza, Gabriel, Simpson, Dante Moore, Shedeur.
Yeah. I don't
Interesting.
even. I'll be honest. I don't even know
It's
who
crazy.
Dante Moore is.
It's crazy.
Oregon.
Heard the name,
He's
but
the
Oregon
Oregon quarterback.
It's crazy.
That's how out to lunch I am on college.
Because you got Dillon Gabriel got the largest average depth of target. Is that what that is?
Yes.
So
and
it's-
the bold is the highest of the group, which is funny because Ty, he does have the highest average depth of target, and we keep talking about him.
Well,
Not throw the ball deep.
somebody literally called in to the post game show and was like, the dude doesn't even throw the ball down the field. He said, I watched him in college, and he doesn't even throw. And I was like, you sure you watched him at Oregon? Because I watched him against Ohio State
that's what he watched.
He was lighting us up down the field.
Does any of this surprise you, Bull? I know you're not a big college football fan and observer. So when you see these kind of laid out like this, does any of it kind of surprise you in any context?
No, not really. I guess not. I know that Sean King is very high on Simpson. He likes him the most.
Yeah, I like Ty Simpson too. I picked him to be the Heisman winner right now.
He's not buying Fernando Mendoza.
See, I'm not either. And I don't know what it is about the dude.
How is it, by the way, again, I fully admit I don't pay attention to college football. I only watch Ohio State when they play somebody worth watching, and that's only happened once so far this year. Is Ohio State playing Indiana in the regular season?
No.
They do not.
Okay. They would have to play in Indiana. In the
Why is Indy? I hate the polls. I hate the ratings.
Why is Indiana
I hate it all. It's all dumb. Why is Indiana 1 and Ohio State 2? It doesn't make any sense.
No, that's Ohio State's 1, Indiana's 2.
Oh, I thought I saw somewhere.
No.
Oh, it might just be CBS.
60 out of 66 votes, Ohio State got 60, Indiana
okay,
got
but
6.
CBS, somebody on CBS did their own rankings, and he had Indiana 1 because he said their win against Oregon was more impressive.
So the funny thing about that stat is Oregon has won 7 games this year.
Yeah.
3 out of the 7 games that they won, they fired their head coaches.
Oh, really?
So how many
UCLA?
So how many really?
Nobody really thinks Indiana could beat Ohio State, right? That's not a thing, is it?
Yes, they could.
Are we pretending? No. I know nothing about college football, but I know that Indiana will not beat Ohio State.
They probably won't, but they could.
Is their coach seems like a real D-bag, is he?
He's like an Urban
He's
Meyer.
crazy, yeah.
But
he's a damn good coach.
He reminds me of Urban.
He's a cocky guy from PA.
Yeah.
Who has had to earn his way to this job.
All right, I respect that.
And he was making $20,000 a year back in the day, coaching D2 football, and then literally now he's making $12 million a year.
All right, so he's not as big a deal,
whatever it is.
Good for him.
No, he's cocky and he's out there.
I don't mind cockiness, so that's all right because we got a lot of people out there in the world that were born on third base think they had a triple. So the fact that he earned his own way,
he speaks strategically to sound certain ways to push his team. I mean, he's a smart guy.
All right, so you think they got a real shot against Ohio State?
Could they beat Ohio State?
Dude, here's what I've learned.
What are you asking?
Don't talk to him. Don't talk to him. So
he's saying you're biased.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. You do know I just did it. I literally just did Indiana last week. I was really gonna give my honest, unbiased opinion.
Well, first off, you just said
it's crazy that you think that I would give my unbiased opinion.
Bro, you love Ohio State.
That's fine, but if you ask me a question about Indiana versus, I would give my unbiased opinion.
All right, give me your unbiased opinion.
Let's go.
Can Indiana beat Ohio State?
I think that they are tough enough.
Yeah.
They're physical enough. The problem where I think that they're going to fall is in the trench play. Now, last year when they played, that was the big thing. I think that they've gotten extremely better in the trench play. But it's just, it comes to a certain point where the talent matters. Okay, Indiana does not have not one 5-star on their team. They are consisted of 4 and 3 stars and transfers from James Madison. He's done a phenomenal job getting those guys to play way above their skis. I just think when you talk about Ohio State, that talent part comes in. Now, don't get me wrong. Elijah Surratt and Omar Cooper Jr., beast. That's one of the best duos in the Big Ten. Easily. And I think they're going to go on to have some really good careers. Running back by committee, that Kaylon Black and that Roman Hemby, if you go up against Roman Hemby, you better bring it because he dropping his shoulder. My issue is him. Sure. And then on the secondary, they do a great job of getting takeaways. I think they're 6th in the country at getting interceptions and things like that. So it's all there. I just think that when you talk about Ohio State, you're talking about a group of 5-star guys that's been also developed. You can go out and beat a 5-star easily.
Yeah.
But the development at Ohio State with that talent,
the
development is there at Indiana, but they also don't have the God-given talent. And I think that is where the difference comes in. That's my unbiased opinion. That's coming from Big Ten analyst.
I prefer the term natural talent, but okay, whatever.
Sure.
They won't beat Ohio State, But the question wasn't will they, it was could they. And yeah, I think they have enough talent. I think their quarterback is awesome.
Yeah. All right, so you, Tyvis, is saying the same thing?
Yeah, I'm like
biased.
I'm busting his chops. I mean, he's very easy to get under his skin. So
it's crazy. I would give bias if he said don't ask him.
This guy over here, young buck.
All right,
guys. Time for super chats to wrap up today's show. Bill Rodewalt says draft offensive line and receiver in 26. Need support before drafting a quarterback. Give Gabriel and Shedeur time to show out. If they suck, we can draft a quarterback in 2027.
I hear what you're saying, and I agree with it. But in theory, if there's a franchise quarterback there, you have to take.
We don't know that there is. We don't know that the Browns think there is.
You don't.
You never pass on a quarterback if you need a quarterback because other parts of the team are bad. Ever. That's it.
We just did that last year.
With Ward?
Well, they obviously didn't think that any of those quarterbacks were franchise quarterbacks.
And they obviously may have been wrong.
They may have been wrong about Jackson Dart. It's way too early to say, though.
Yeah,
but to Bull's point, if they thought there was another franchise quarterback, they would have taken him.
If they thought that Jackson Dart was a franchise quarterback, they 100% would have taken him.
So you just said the same thing I said. I said that.
Yeah.
I said that I would. I understand what he's saying, and I would agree. But if it's a franchise quarterback, you have to take him.
That's it.
Triz says Gabriel missed 6 touchdown opportunities and should have had 6 interceptions between the Steelers game and the Miami game. The New England game, he has to perform, or it's Shedeur time.
I don't think he's going to be gone after the Patriots game unless he gets hurt.
A lot of people think if there is a change, a lot of people think it will come in mid to end November.
I just think at this point, Dillon Gabriel has not played bad enough. You say what you want. Get aggravated what you want. The bottom line is the Browns decision makers like Dillon Gabriel better than, or at least at the time of the draft, like Dillon Gabriel better than Shedeur Sanders. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's why they took him in the third.
Why would they pull him out after 4 games? To this point, he hasn't been terrible. He hasn't been very good, but he hasn't been terrible.
It's not big enough of a sample size. No. But I will echo what you said yesterday because I thought it was actually really good. Is that when you watch Dillon Gabriel play, it hasn't given you the I'm elite, I'm the franchise
Nothing.
guy.
I haven't seen any
He has not had that moment yet. So therefore, it leaves the door open.
That's right.
And when you do that, you get comments like that.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Mike.
Next super chat comes from James Mace Jr. Tyvis or Dustin, did you guys ever cover Stevie Johnson?
No, but Sherm did, and Sherm said he was the toughest dude he ever covered in his life. He said that he was the only dude I think that gave him like over 150 yards in a game or something like that.
I covered Stevie every single day in practice. Every day.
He was like that, huh?
He was.
They said he was like just athletic.
Yeah, it was so funny, like because he was like a late round pick.
Really? I thought he went like first or second round. That's crazy.
No, I think he was like 5th round.
Oh,
out of Kentucky, and like he was just kind of like trying to make the roster, man. You know
he didn't have much of a career.
No, but he bust Sherm.
He had a couple.
He had like
I would say he hit up a bunch of people.
And you know, everyone remembers when we pulled the shirt up and why so serious and that whole thing. He wasn't the toughest receiver to guard though. Roscoe Parrish was the toughest receiver to guard.
Oh yeah,
man. Come on.
Stevie Johnson, by the way, had 3 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, it was like
he's somebody that nobody talked about.
09, 10, 11, something like that.
10, 11, 12.
10, 11,
12. He had a stretch.
Yeah,
he had a 3-year stretch where he had in total 3,200 yards.
How many tutties though, like per year?
23 touchdowns.
In those 3 years?
10, 7, 6.
And then what did he do the rest of his career?
That's
600, 400, 500.
He didn't make the Pro Bowl with nothing like that.
Just ran into him last year at one of the Bills games. He comes back as like one of the Bills legends quite often and is pretty active in the community. Great guy.
Yeah.
Great guy. Yeah.
Next one, James says, Tyvis, you and Sherm were definitely talking about Jalen Ramsey because he's cooked.
He is cooked.
The Goober.
Maybe we were, maybe we weren't.
Never know.
The Goober says, Ty, did you see Bedford lost to Maple 40-6? If you didn't, just wanted you to know.
Damn. Is that their rival?
Yeah.
40-6?
Hey, man.
Is Bedford really bad?
What's the next question?
Poor Tyvis.
A Jazzy says Browns stop worrying about a number one quarterback and worry about an offensive line to protect the quarterback. No quarterback should play for Cleveland. They will trade you mid-season.
They trade. Oh, well. I mean, we got a lot of stuff we got to figure out this offseason. Like that, that's a fact.
Like every spot on offense besides running back.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Someone to throw, someone to catch,
Topo42 says Pats have 1 or 2 good wins. We got to calm down on the May talk.
On the what talk?
The Drake May.
I mean,
wait.
He's been awesome. He's been objectively awesome. It is.
I was about to say he's very accurate. Didn't he go like 22 for 24?
We're actually going to do tomorrow. We're going to do our 5 stats segment because it's going to help frame the rest of the conversations we have the rest of the week. And there's some good, for the first time in a while, we have some good Brown stats.
Oh, boy.
We also have some really impressive Drake May stats we'll get to, so we'll get to those tomorrow. The Hot Saucer says, Bull, do you really love Delmonico's and the lobster bisque, or is that just all for the ad reads on the radio? I went once, and I loved it.
That was fantastic.
I do really love Delmonico's. I haven't been there in a while. The lobster bisque is really excellent.
Have you shouted out George on the show?
I haven't on the show. George Schindler, who
is one of the
owners of it, just recently passed away, so it's kind of timely that you brought that up. Dustin and I knew him very well. Dustin knew him better than I did, but we had a relationship with him for years because we were doing their commercials.
A decade plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be totally honest. I have eaten at all their restaurants, the hospitality restaurants, Delmonico's, Cabin Club, Rosewood Grill, Kingfish, what am I forgetting? Salmon Dave's. I've been to all their restaurants, and I've never really had a bad meal.
Right.
My son did once. I'll keep it real. There was the flatbread at Rosewood was not very good. I'm gonna keep it real, but everything else
That's why we love you. You always keep it real.
And actually, the best steak I've ever had was at Cabin Club, not Delmonico's. But the Delmonico's steaks are really good. I go there. I wouldn't go there if they didn't have good steaks. The lobster bisque is amazing.
It's funny. So George, rest in peace. I just texted with him in August.
Yeah.
I went to Delmonico's and I texted him a picture of where the menu, and I said it's Delmonico's in bull voice. That's why I texted him, and he laughed. George was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Brody's bottom line says, pump the brakes on New England. They've only beat one good team. He also said Larry Bird averaged 24-10, 6-3. 24-10 and 6 for his career, won 3 straight MVPs.
Yeah.
That's all factual. You're still taking LeBron James if you're starting a team.
I'm taking Bird, but I get why most people take LeBron.
Is it because he's
white?
Is it because he's white?
Whoa, no, hold on. A week ago, you thought LeBron was your GOAT.
I'm kidding. I'm taking LeBron. But I would take Michael over LeBron.
And Larry's all-time, top 10, all-time, no debate about it. Like, unquestionably,
it is
one of the greatest ever.
I do think if Larry Bird played, people are like, Larry Bird wasn't that athletic. No, you're wrong.
No, he was
athletic.
He was ridiculous.
And he's way bigger than you think he is.
Yes.
He'd be scoring 40 points a night in this era when you can't touch a guy.
I can hear the argument.
Yeah.
LeBron's a specimen that we've never seen before. But he doesn't have something Larry Bird had.
What's that?
Or that Michael Jordan had.
Correct.
Yeah.
The killer instinct.
You know what it is.
Yeah. All right, a couple more real quick. James Mace Jr. says, I low-key think the Browns believe Shedeur is the future, and they're not putting him out there until he and the team is ready. Big J Bone says, I think it's unfair to say the receivers suck when they haven't gotten many passes thrown to them, and all the ones that get thrown are trash.
I think it's fair to say the receivers.
I'm about to say they dropped a lot of passes this season.
I don't think Judy sucks, but I think he's having a terrible, terrible season.
No, he led the league in drafts last year too.
We got 2 more. Keyshawn Clark says Tyvis doing a full in-depth analysis of Indiana and naming specific players while Dustin and Bull watched was an all-time UCSS moment.
I mean, the guy works for the Big Ten Network. You better know the damn teams.
Literally, I was just there. That's where the tailgate was last week. I was just there.
You name off Memphis' starting 11?
Hey, Dustin, I actually was watching. They didn't have the sound on. I was at a bar, but I was watching that game and going nuts. If I knew you were on that call, I would have made them put the sound on. So
that was a crazy game, right?
Crazy game.
24-point dogs. They won.
Yeah.
They won. Who they play?
UAB.
UAB. Yeah.
What, Memphis was the dogs?
Memphis
So who was it?
24-point favorite.
And UAB had a new coach right there. Replaced
yeah,
Dillon.
UAB just fired Dilfer.
Oh, right, yeah. Good for him.
All right, last super chat.
Good for UAB.
Shaq with no brick says, why isn't Deshaun present as the vet since Shedeur has to sit next to DG on the bench collecting wisdom? Herb Bull was bothered. Joe Burrow was present and hurt, so why not Deshaun? He's already got all the money.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they do with the injury players and stuff like that.
Yeah, we addressed that earlier in the show. I personally, I don't want Deshaun anywhere near the rest of the roster.
No, I think he's asking, like, why doesn't he be on the field with the team?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how
they don't want him. Maybe they have a different policy.
I don't know how what the Browns policy is with injured players.
Yeah.
Not sure. All right, in overtime, guys, I don't know if you saw this, but Ohio high school athletes can now get NIL money.
They passed it?
They passed it.
Ooh,
Shout out
temporary for now.
Coming up
shout out to
in
that
about
one dude,
2 minutes. We'll
Jameer Brown from that's going to Old State.
Peace.
Who's that? Where does he go to high school?